Shalom, shalom, Israel. Most High Christ bless. Happy Sabbath. Can you hear me? All praises, all praises. I could barely see the chat. It's kind of small on my end. Just give me a minute. I see a lot of you guys giving me the yes. So I'm going to take that as it's a green light. Most High Christ bless you. Happy Sabbath. We're going to skip through all the pleasantries. We're going to skip through all the introduction because I got some video and I want to play it. And I want to make sure that we go through the whole thing. Okay? So I'm doing this video because for a long time in the Israelite community, there's been people in opposition against us because when it comes to marriage, we only say you should have one wife. You got a lot of other Israelite groups that push that you can have more than one wife. Okay? And the reason why we push to be with one wife is because we don't have the stability as a nation to deal with the broken, decayed state that we are in as a people. We don't have a government. We don't have an economy. We don't have a city. We don't have administration. We don't have a legal system that we could go to if things go wrong, if there's injustices. We're being ruled over by another principality. Okay? So when you read in the Old Testament, you did read about men having more than one wife. And Israelites were wicked back then also. And there were issues back then also. The state of the Israelite nation is 1,000 times worse than back then. The men are 1,000 times worse than back then. So you got men that will read instances in the Old Testament of men having more than one wife, and they want to do that today. So we speak against it because of, as I said, the things that we lack as a nation and the mindset of the men today. Most of the men are evil. So we advise as fathers, as brothers, as husbands, as uncles, as friends to the sisters, don't jump into relationships where that man is telling you, according to the Bible, you could be one of his side pieces. Because he's not marrying you. He's not taking you to a court and marrying you and get paperwork like the Bible says. He's just using the Bible and pointing out instances where men had more than one wife and tying you into that situation. Okay? And we always say it turns out bad. We always say it turns out bad. Now, the last time we did a video warning the sisters about that, this guy from the Sakari, Genesis, he put up videos and images of him with his 3 women that he was dealing with. Put the picture up. He was the one that was trying to jump out there and say he know how to make it work. I send y'all images. Y'all got the images? Okay, because he was the one jumping out there, showing pictures of the women that he's dealing with and boasting and rubbing it in the community's face as if he knows how to make it work, as if what he's doing is working. So this was the picture that he put up. Okay, I blurred the women's faces out there because they're victims. That's after listening to this woman put her video up, these women are victims. Okay, they're not in no loving marriage relationship where there's safety, there's nurture, how a husband is supposed to be according to the Bible. These women are victims. Okay, so I'm not going to go into anything about them because I don't know them. And I could tell about him by he speak. I don't have to make nothing up. Y'all going to hear him speak how he talks to these women that he call his wives. And if he'll talk to one like that, I know he talks and controls the other ones like that. There's another post that he put up when he was trying to go back and forth about pushing this, that this works in the Israelite community. This is his post. This ain't Netflix. This real life. Love my three wives, many calendared together, and many more, God willing. So one of the women that he was abusing, because this is abuse, you're going to hear for yourself, you're going to see for yourself, had the courage to speak out. I guess she got sick of the abuse. And I don't need to talk bad about him. Y'all could be the judge for yourself. If this is what y'all want to get into, with someone using the Bible to manipulate you to get into a situation where he has absolute control, dominance, and you're subject to him, and you got to do what he say or it's the highway. So play the beginning of the video because she did a rap song, and the rap was very, very good. I'm usually critical, especially of female rappers, but this rap was very, very good. And since I would have took the song and I would have put it separate, because there's a lot of women that can relate to what's in the song, and I would have put it separate. I wouldn't have put it in this video. That's how good I think it is, that people would have heard it and they would have liked it, because I was surprised. The rap skills is official. Play the video, please.
Yeah. You had everybody fooled. Whole time I was drowning behind closed doors. Man of God, huh? Tell you what. Yeah. You was preaching kingdom, I was losing everything. Smile for the camera while you cut me underneath. Told me submit while you emptied out my dreams. Now I see the truth, clear was never what it seemed. Said I was your wife, but you treated me like cash. You scripture as control every time I fall back. Public got a profit, private got a mask. Now I'm rebuilding everything you thought would never last. Met you when I'm injured, hand broke, life low. Varsity classes, leadership, nice clothes. Daddy trusted you, so I thought you was solid. Whole time you was clocking my savings and deposits. 778 score, business getting bigger. You saw potential, I thought I found a leader. Talking about structure, order, submission. Illy, it was isolation mixed with financial addiction. Send the money every week, another transfer. Whole time I'm disabled, still funding your answers. Told me I was selfish if I wanted my own cash.
You can stop it. Y'all need to go and listen to the whole song itself because it's good. And the stuff that she's saying in there, this is literally something that it would have sold. If it would have been a rapper that y'all like that's saying it, y'all can't front what she's even. Forget about what I'm bringing this out for. I'm just saying, just her telling the story, the storytelling, the flow, the music, everything. It's official. It's on point. Okay? So there are sisters that can relate to it, even though she's speaking from a place of pain and putting it before the video. So I want to go straight to the video. Y'all want to hear the whole song? Y'all go and y'all watch, play it over, download it and play it. It's a very good song, and her rap is tight. I think it starts at 412. Just go, yeah, right there.
I was married to a well-known Hebrew Israelite camp leader, someone thousands of people follow, listen to, and respect. But what I experienced behind closed doors was something completely different. And for a long time, I stayed quiet, but not anymore. I was married to someone publicly known as the Deacon, also known as Priest Hakah. Before I go any further, I want to be clear. This is not about being messy. This is not about tearing someone down for entertainment. This is about my real life. This is about my experience, and this is about why I feel I had no choice left but to bring this to a public platform. And I also want to say this from the beginning. I'm not randomly dragging a private person into the public eye. I was already publicly displayed as his wife across his social media platforms, YouTube pages, profile pictures, live streams, and family content. He publicly presented me and his other wives as part of the image and branding of his ministry and family structure. So if my image, my marriage, and my role in his life were public enough to help build that image, then my experience inside of that marriage is also mine to speak about. Especially when what was being shown publicly and what was happening privately were two very different things. There's literally an entire public platform built around this image. People are watching content about love, order, leadership, and family structure, while behind the scenes, I'm experiencing something very different. Right now, I'm separated again. And the way things ended this last time was not small. It was not just an argument. It was not something that could be talked through or fixed overnight. It was one of those moments where everything becomes super clear, where you realize this is not sustainable, this is not safe for me, and this is not something that I can keep carrying. And I'm going to talk about exactly what happened in this series, because that moment is a big part of why I'm here today. I also posted a link to my Substack below, which is a blog website where you can go to and read my entire story. I'm trying to find a way to provide for myself and my daughter after what I experienced as financial abuse in my marriage. And I say that because from my experience, I was left financially devastated. Over the course of this relationship, I lost over $60,000. My credit was destroyed, and I ended up filing for bankruptcy. And I was left trying to care for our daughter while disabled and financially dependent on him, completely. So when people ask, why is she speaking publicly, or say I'm out of order or disrespectful for talking about my husband, I need people to understand something. I did not come here first. In this community, I felt like there was nowhere else to go. We had councils with multiple elders. We spoke with other leaders, Alazar, also known as Guerrilla Hebrew, Captain Tazama, Priest Kahan and his wife Malakiyah, Priest Danya Allah. These were all people my husband claimed to respect.
Pause it. And again, a lot of these people that she named, y'all see on video also. And they know the stuff that she's going through. And a lot of times you counsel with people who you know is not going to correct you. It's just to smooth the situation out while the person continues the abuse. Okay, so these people will go on video and act like that there's these super duper Israelites, and those counsels, they be fake. They're fake. He'll call them up. He's not going to stop mistreating her after the counsels. It's just to shut her up. Okay? Because I've had people call us from other camps for counsel, And we don't do the counseling thing because they're in a situation that no matter what we say to them, it ain't going to change. If there was a part of our camp, then we could bring forth change after we sit down and counsel. But for me to counsel on someone that's a part of another camp, when we put on our disclaimer, we ain't got no affiliations with the other camps, it's not going to work. All that stuff that counseling with these people from other camps is fake. Nothing's going to happen from it. But he'll set that up so that to smooth the situation out and to shut the woman up. Let it play.
Opportunities for correction, accountability, and someone to get through to him. And from my experience, none of it changed anything.
I just said that. It's not going to change nothing. It's all fake. It's just to calm her down and let her keep eating the BS that he's feeding her. Let her play.
He did not take advice. He did not receive counsel in a way that brought safety, stability, or change to this situation. And when children are involved, when your livelihood is on the line, and when your future is being affected, silence completely stops being an option. I also want to say something clearly before I continue. During one of our altercations while I was pregnant, he told me he would pay someone $20,000 to get rid of me. I have documents.
So while she's pregnant, she said that he said he would pay someone $20,000 to get rid of her. And the reason why, she could be lying. I don't know if she's lying. I don't know if she's, most of the stuff that she's saying, she's going to present proof. Okay, because at one point he even says, I don't care if you record me. I don't care if you bring this to Vocab. Vocab is a white guy that hates the Israelite movement, and he's always looking for dirt on Israelites so he could put on his show to tear them down. But that's how emboldened he was to tell her, I don't care if you're recording me, and I don't care who you show this to. Okay, but to tell a woman that you'll pay somebody to get rid of her, does that sound like a person that's in this truth? That believes in the Most High, that's keeping commandments? Just pay attention. I don't have to tear this guy down. His words alone is going to show you that what I said about him when I mentioned him, it was true. This is a slimy dude. This is a grimy, slimy dude. And his own words is going to prove that he's no good. And you wicked niggas that follow him and look up to him, you just like him. Y'all just like him. Let it play.
Surrounding that incident, and I will speak more about it later in this series. So if anything were to ever happen to me, I need it understood that statements like that were made directly to me during this relationship.
So she got to put out that if anything happens to me, it's him because he's threatening her. Let it play.
You think you're funny. You think it's all fun and games. Like, why do you want it? Why do you want me to get into a point where I don't care what the Israel? Why do you want me to get to a point to where I could really?
It's not my fault.
Care? No. Listen to me. Do you not care that I could turn into a greasy ass nigga and say fuck the Israelites and all of that and really get on you in a whole type of?
So he said I could turn to a person that says fuck the Israelites and I could really get on you. Does that sound like a God-fearing man that cares about his audience, that cares about the people that's following, that cares about his image? I tell you, I don't have to tear this man down. His own words is going to do it. Okay? Because when he puts his video to try to do damage control, you got wicked niggas, his followers telling him they still got his back and everything is going to... You niggas are wicked. You are just what white people call you, you black Hebrew Israelite niggas. You're not men of God. Okay? He said how he feel about his followers, his audience. Back it up.
You think you're funny. You think it's all fun and games. Like, why do you want it? Why do you want me to get into a point where I don't care what the Israel? Why do you want me to get to a point to where I could really?
It's not my fault.
Care? No. Listen to me. Do you not care that I could turn into a greasy ass nigga and say fuck the Israelites and all of that and really get on you in a whole type of?
So he said I could turn into a greasy nigga, which you are. By the way you're talking, you are. Everything is just for show. Everything is just to make money. You already like that. That's why you're threatening her. You saying I could turn into that. You already like that. If she didn't expose you, no one would know because you're fake and everything you do is fake. Just like I said a couple of months ago when you came into a clubhouse when recorded me and said I was crashing out. Who's the crash out now? Who's the crash out? And you had all them stupid niggas following you. And I told you from back then months ago, this nigga's fake. He don't care about the Israelite community. He don't care about our reputation. That's why he's telling her, I could say fuck the Israelites and come cause harm to you. That's not no man of God. This is his own words. Let it play.
Couldn't even respond to? Why do you want to push a nigga there?
I don't.
Like, why do you want me?
I don't.
You know I got more money than you and your whole family. Why would you want me to just like say, all right, fuck that. I'm about to just slaughter this bitch. Why do you want me to do that?
He said, I'll just slaughter this bitch because I got more money than you and your family. This is a man of God. This is who y'all follow? This is who y'all follow? Okay, this don't sound like no man of God. This don't sound like nobody that care about what's written in the Bible. This is not a representative of how a man of God, if y'all ever see me speaking to somebody like that on the phone, y'all already know what I'm about. That's coming from his heart. And whoever's still following him after you hear that, you full of shit just like him. He said, I will say, fuck this Israelite stuff and come and slaughter you. You threatening a woman like that, the mother of your children. This is his true nature. This is the essence of him. Let it play.
That's not what I want you to do. That's what you want to do.
Kill you and your family. That's what I want to do. I want to kill you and your
Why
family.
you want to kill me and my family? Why would you even bring that up?
I just asked you a question, you fucking dummy. I want to kill you and your family. That's what you're saying?
That's what you're saying. I didn't bring that up. Who brought that up? Who brought that up? I never said you want to kill me and my whole family.
You know what? Here's the thing.
That's what you call a narcissist. Now that she brings him to his senses to show him, yo, you talking crazy, he try to play stupid like he didn't just say what we just heard him say. That's a crash out, my man. That's what you call crashing out. This is his true essence. This is his true nature. Let it play.
This is crazy.
I'm not saying this for shock value. I'm not saying it for your attention.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked. If you're not saying it for shock value, I'm shocked. Okay, because he tries to portray like he's this knowledgeable man and he's trying to do stuff for the Israelite community. And you heard him in just a couple of minutes. He don't care about no Israelite community. He don't care about his women. He don't care about his children. He still got the same ghetto hood nigga mentality that destroys families, destroys lives. Nigga. And women can't be in a marriage as a happy wife, as the Bible says. Let it play.
I took statements like that seriously, especially given everything else that occurred. That's why I'm here. Not because I want drama, not because I want attention, but because I literally feel like I have nowhere left to go and no private avenue left that actually helped. And if there are elders or leadership who genuinely want to understand and genuinely want to help in a real way, I'm open to that. But I'm not going to keep protecting an image while my real life is falling apart. And I also want to say this early. I know how this works. I know blame may be shifted onto me. I know the story may become, she chose this. She left. She went against him. She's not being a wife. She's bitter. She's out of order. But that was part of the pattern that I experienced. The issues he created often became my fault. Even now, when I ask for help with rent and basic stability for our daughter, the response becomes that I made my choice, that he doesn't have the funds, or that he only provides for women who are in order. And I need to address that right now because I'm already knowing how this may be framed publicly. She just got mad and she left.
She moved against his wishes. She's bitter because he won't pay her bills. But what people need to understand is this. By the time I left again, the marriage had already been breaking down long before that. This did not start because I left. After nearly 2 years of on and off separation, reconciliation attempts, and trying to make things work, I agreed to move back to Washington with my daughter. We began that transition in October 2025. We found a place to rent, and by December 2025, we were already on separation again. That separation happened after a situation involving my car, which I will get more into later. Basically, he allowed his other wives to drive the vehicle my mom financed for me without my knowledge or consent while I was in California. That is a vehicle that he was not paying for, and he let one of them use it who is not insured. He told me he didn't need my permission. He said if anything happened to the car that he would replace it. Meanwhile, he has never paid my mom back for the down payment that he agreed to pay for the vehicle. And there are plenty of other things he agreed to pay and never paid back either. When everything escalated, he started telling me to stay in California, don't bring our daughter back to Washington, and that he would ship my stuff back to San Diego. Then he blocked my number. He even refused to pay for me and my daughter's luggage to return. My mom had to personally call him and remind him that me and his child were completely financially dependent on him before he finally agreed to pay for it. When we got back to Washington, things didn't improve. He immediately started pressuring me again. He told me he was not paying the rent in January. He told me I needed to figure out how to get me and my daughter back to California before the rent came due. This was less than 2 weeks before January. So while all of this was happening, I started applying for low-income housing back in San Diego. Not because I had some secret plan to leave him, but because realistically, I could already see where things were heading again. Anybody who has dealt with affordable housing knows that the wait list can take years, but I still applied because I knew that me and my daughter were not stable.
Stop. A lot of times these dudes, because when you read about the multiple wives situation in here, the men were providing for their wives. They were not sending them to their mother to pay money for a car for them to drive. They were not sending them back to their mother's house or their father's house to get financial assistance for the woman that they took on. That's in the law. Okay? You're supposed to take care of her raiment. You're supposed to take care of her, the stuff that, this is why we told you this shit don't work. This is what we told y'all. But they talk you woman into this bullshit and you believe it. Now you're hearing now how he's financially abusing her. Okay, because he don't got no bread coming in. All the money that he got is what he suckers from his followers. You people that follow him, you're suckers. You following a nigga. You're not following no man of God. And if he want to use the money on other things, like they showed you with his G-Wagon, he don't have to take care of his family. He don't have to take care of his woman. If he want to go to the club, if he want to drink, if he want to do that, he could easily financially abuse her. That's why we tell you women, make sure that you're financially stable before you jump into a relationship. Get your education. Make sure you got money in the bank so that things don't turn out like this. The nigga run game on you, then put shame on you and the blame on you. Let it play.
At the same time, he was telling me I needed to immediately decide whether I wanted a divorce or a separation. He said he reread Matthew and he believed he could write me a bill of divorce outside of fornication. And if I did not want a divorce, then we had to remain separated until at least Passover because of how I reacted to things.
So he's trying to change what Christ said in Matthew chapter 19, verse 3. We're going to get that real quick because he did so much evil in this video. I didn't even watch the other parts. It's just so much people were sending the video to me because I really didn't care. But I said, you know what? After I watched it, this is necessary because this is what we've been warning you women about, and y'all don't listen. Y'all don't listen. Matthew chapter 19, verse 3, reader.
The book of Matthew, chapter 19, and verse 3. The Pharisees also came unto him, tempting him, and saying unto him, Is it lawful for a man to put away his wife for every cause?
Because the same way it was 2,000 years ago with Jesus Christ is the same way this nigga is now. He has to get his way, or it's the highway. So that's what the Pharisees are bringing to Christ. Is it lawful? Will I be going against God if I put my woman away for every cause, like what she's experiencing? Read.
And he answered and said unto them, Have ye not read that he which made them at the beginning made them male and female? And said, For this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife?
Not a man leave father and mother, and you telling the wife, go let your mother take out money for a down payment for a car. That's bullshit. That's not scriptural. If you don't have the ability or the place, the housing to take care of the woman, you can't take her for your woman. That's what bums do. You a bum. Now you telling her, go back to your mom and get money to get a car because I don't have the money. I'm not using my money that I take from my suckers who follow me. Okay? Because that's what you're, that's all you people that's following them, you're suckers. You're not men of God. You're only two things. You wicked niggas like him or you're suckers. Read.
And said, For this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife.
And do what?
And they twain shall be one
And
flesh.
do what?
And shall cleave to his wife.
Christ said you leave your parents' house and you cleave to your wife. You become one with your wife. You don't send her back to her mother's house and tell her mother, Mom, we need money to pay for a car. That's not how the men with more than one wife was in the scriptures. That's some bum shit. And that's why we tell you women, don't do it. These guys are bums on social media, especially trying to exploit the teachings of Israelites to bring y'all into these situations where you're slaves and they're training y'all to behave. God trying to free you from a servitude and they're trying to put you back to one of their servants, one of their slaves. Read.
And they twain shall be one flesh. Wherefore, they are no more twain, but one flesh. What therefore God hath joined together, let not man put asunder.
If your relationship was put together under the guidelines of God, you cannot dissolve it. But if you were a street nigga that don't care about God, he will threaten to kill you and your family. And then send you back to your mother to beg for money to pay for a car. Because he ain't spending his own money because he don't love you or care about you and he don't want to hear about you. Keep reading.
They say unto him, Why did Moses then command to give a writing of divorcement, and to put her away? He saith unto them, Moses, because of the hardness of your hearts.
Why did Moses say to put them away?
Because of the hardness of your hearts.
Read.
Suffered you to put away your wives.
Because you was wicked, evil niggas like you seeing with this guy here. Moses couldn't deal with how evil the men were. Thousands of years back then. So he said, you know what, just divorce them. Rather than let the woman keep getting abused. Read.
But from the beginning, it was not so.
God never wanted divorce to happen. But because you see evil, she got to stay with a man that this evil. That's threatening to kill her, off her and her family. I got more money. You got more money than her family, but you sending her to go to her family to pay for a car. Make it make sense. You bragging you got more money than her family, but she got to go. He's doing that because he don't care about her. And he's a manipulator. He's a user. He's a narcissist. Nigga. Keep reading.
And I say unto you.
Right.
And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, except it be for fornication, and shall marry another, committeth adultery.
And that's what he is. Okay, you can't just put your wife away for any little cause and then pick up with another wife. That's why I told y'all before, you're not getting the kingdom. In this situation, y'all not getting no kingdom. That's what Christ has said. Adulterers shall not enter the kingdom. Get that, 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 9. Because that's what he's going to do. He's going to throw her to the side and just pick up another person to manipulate and run game on and put shame on.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 9. Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of God?
So he's going to list people who are not going to get the kingdom of God. Read.
Be not deceived, neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers.
That's what he is. He's an adulterer. And that's what Christ said. You ain't getting no kingdom being with him in a relationship like this. Being in a situationship like this. Read it again.
Be not deceived.
What?
Be not deceived.
You women are deceived because you believe wicked niggas like him. This is why we told y'all this from the beginning. All you women in this situation, you're not getting into no kingdom. He's going to use you, abuse you, and God is not going to choose you. That's why he says, be not deceived, because he deceived you into thinking you're in this happy relationship and y'all one with God and God is going to accept this and you're going to get into the kingdom. So that's why Paul has to say in the letter, what, reader?
Be not deceived, neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor effeminate, nor abusers of themselves with mankind, nor thieves, nor covetous, nor drunkards, nor revelers, nor extortioners shall inherit the kingdom of God.
You're not getting no kingdom. You're not getting no kingdom in a situation like that. Read.
And such were some of you.
Because y'all came out of it. Y'all woke up. And such were some of you. Go back to Matthew chapter 19.
The book of Matthew, chapter 19 and verse 9. And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, except it be for fornication.
Meaning the only way you could put her away is if she cheated on you. Read.
And shall marry another.
And you go and pick up with another woman.
Committeth adultery.
You're an adulterer. And that's what he is. Because I guarantee he's not married to none of those women. Read.
And whoso marrieth her, which is put away, doth commit adultery. His disciples say unto him, if the case of the man be so with his wife, it is not good to marry.
When the disciples heard how serious marriage was and breaking wedlock was, they said it's not good to marry. They said they'd rather stay single. So this is what happened when you get into a situation with a wicked Negro. With no compassion, with no love, no care, that's saying, I'll kill you, I'll off you and your family. I say, F this Israelite stuff, just because of how much hatred I got for you. This is crazy, man. This is crazy. Because this guy is pushing out there like he's this top teacher and he has this great situation going. And I guarantee you if the other two was to speak, it would be the same exact thing. Let's go back to the video.
I said I didn't want a divorce. We had literally just got back to Washington and I wanted my daughter to have her father. And I had nowhere else to go. So I agreed to a separation. But even the separation itself was unhealthy and unstable. Then another issue came up. And honestly, this is one of the moments that stayed with me because it shows how quickly things could escalate. It was almond milk, something small. He asked me to get almond milk from the store and I accidentally got the wrong kind. Instead of it just being a normal conversation, he immediately turned it into, you need to do better as a wife. And when I told him that was rude and unnecessary, he did not hear me out. He flipped it into me not liking correction. Then he repeated it again, that I need to do better. And I remember sitting there thinking, this is not correction. This is disrespect. When we got off the phone, I didn't say bye. I just hung up because I was tired of constantly being talked down to. That immediately turned into another issue.
That's how a narcissist is. You do one little thing wrong and they magnify it. And they act like it's the end of the world and you're an idiot and you're stupid. And you need to fix yourself. Let it play.
Made me bring his 2-year-old daughter back right away, even though she and my daughter were both upset and crying because they had bonded and wanted to stay together. And that was really hard emotionally because he was the one saying that he wanted the children bonding as siblings. But anytime that he got upset with me, everything became unstable again. And I started realizing I did not want my daughter deeply attached to situations and routines that could be ripped away every time he got angry or wanted to prove a point.
That's how a narcissist is. That's a prime example of narcissistic behavior. I don't get my way, it's the highway. Let it play.
Recorded one of those conversations we had after that because I was trying to explain how deeply this was affecting me. I told him I was tired of being disrespected. I asked him, what was I supposed to allow my daughter to grow up seeing? And instead of apologizing or acknowledging anything, he basically said he would just tell our daughter that people make mistakes. But the problem was he did not believe he made a mistake. He was not sorry. He openly said he was not apologizing. And that hit me really hard because I realized I was being expected to normalize disrespect in front of my daughter and quietly move on from it every single time. And mentally, that just became exhausting. At the same time, we had multiple conversations about the fact that I needed actual help with our daughter. Here's some screenshots of him asking what I needed, what I wanted the visit to look like, and how I wanted things structured. But nothing actually changed. I kept asking him to spend real time with his daughter, to help me, to be present. And his response was basically that even if he only saw her for 30 seconds, that's enough. Meanwhile,
didn't I say that to y'all before about what happens when the kids come in? And because the man is so busy with his own life and his own world, he don't care about the kids. We've told y'all this in videos. The man said, if I just see her for 30 seconds, that's enough. How you build a relationship with your child with 30 seconds? With this world the way it is, with homework, with school, with teaching them how to interact with other people. We're teaching them how to speak. We're giving them skills. We're riding a bike. With all the stuff that they're going to need. You telling me 30 seconds of parenting is enough? That's narcissism. This is what we was warning you women about. While these guys are trying to make it look glamorous. He put his business out there. And then try to attack us when we're speaking, we're trying to warn the sisters, don't jump into that situation. Let it play.
With her every single day, completely alone. And when we did go over to his house, most of the parenting still fell on me. He also started pushing me to leave her there without me. But realistically, it would not have been him watching her. It would have fallen on to another wife who already had multiple young children of her own. And I kept thinking, you are asking me to leave my 1-year-old exclusively breastfed daughter somewhere she's uncomfortable with people she barely knows while you stay occupied doing other things.
Stop it. Because he tried to put the picture up like it's just one big happy family and they're all just getting along. So she's telling him, no, I feel uncomfortable. You barely come around to see the child. And you want me to leave my child with these women who she don't know. And they got their own kids and they're going through their own situation. Okay? Y'all keep falling for this social media bullshit. And y'all think everything that y'all see on the screen is how it is. And I be telling you, these people be fake behind the scenes. They be fake. Everything is just for show, and most of the stuff you don't know. And he had a lot of people following him. You suckers and you simp niggas was following him. And having his back, and he was wicked. And some of them are still going to support him even after this because you niggas are wicked. You're black Hebrew Israelites just like the white people call you. You're not men of God. Let it play.
That's not co-parenting. That is not active fatherhood. And despite us living literally 4 minutes away from him, there were long stretches where he barely saw our daughter at all, sometimes weeks. The longest stretch was about a month. Now, he hasn't talked to her in about a month. So by the time my daughter got seriously sick in March 2026, and I asked him to take us to the ER, mentally, I was already exhausted from everything leading up to that point. But even then, he told me that I was being dramatic and to just give her some juice. So I ended up taking her myself. She was admitted into the hospital and had to stay there for 5 days.
So she wanted him to accompany her to the hospital. He told her she was being dramatic and dismissed her. But the white people at the hospital saw this is serious, and she wound up having a 5-day hospital stay because he dismissed it. That's a narcissist. That's not no man of God. That's a wicked nigga with a Bible on social media. And you dumb, stupid niggas, you follow him. You support him. You send him your money. You support evil. You wicked niggas ain't getting the kingdom either. Because you prop them up. You give him money. You allow him to get away with this stuff. You're not getting the kingdom either. And I'm going to show you scriptures to paint the proper picture. Let it play.
During that entire hospitalization, he did not come. He
Your
did not
daughter's
help.
in the hospital. You told her not to take her. Just give her some juice and leave her. Doctors look at the child and say, this child is sick. You don't even hear after you find out that the child is admitted, you come there to go see her. This is an evil nigga. Okay, he like to talk about everybody else in the other Israelite groups. Bruh, out of all the men that I've seen in it, you are the worst. You are the worst. This is the worst since my whole time in this truth of having to speak about what's going on, because we try not to. But this guy is always in everybody's business. He's always in everybody's business because that's how he makes his money, by propping himself up to get suckers to follow him and give him money. That's how they were birthed, by trying to tear other people down. Watch those niggas that's always doing debates and always watching other people's videos and making fake thumbnails for clickbait to get people to, you suckers, you watch them and you believe them. And I told y'all this shit before. Now you got to hear from one of his victims the truth of what I was warning y'all about from months ago. Let it play.
He did not call. He did not text. He did not.
Because he don't care. He don't care about his little girl. He's a narcissist. All he care about is himself. And you suckers that send him money, you people are suckers. I wouldn't have the audacity. We don't ask for no money here. We tell people to donate to the cause. I work. I got a job. But you suckers, you keep giving this man money for him to abuse women, not take care of his kid. And his daughter's sick. And the comments from his video where he's trying to clean this shit up, he still got wicked niggas supporting him. Hold your head up. Hold your head up. You should hold your head down. You should be ashamed of yourself. Hold your head up, king. I'll talk.
One time. He did not help care for her afterwards either. And that became one of the biggest turning points for me mentally, because I realized I was already functioning like a single mother while still being controlled like a wife. So when a low-income complex near my family in San Diego suddenly called, despite thousands of people being on the wait list, I saw it as an opportunity me and my daughter genuinely needed. I would finally have support around me instead of being isolated in Washington trying to carry everything alone. And when I brought up the move, suddenly the story changed again. Now, suddenly, he wanted to focus on our daughter. Now, suddenly, he said he would help more. But by that point, I had already heard promises over and over that never turned into consistent action. And one thing he said during that time has never left my mind. He told me, when I hate the mother, the child suffers. And I have that recorded.
So let's see if that's scriptural. She said, when I hate the mother, the child suffers. Get Deuteronomy chapter 21, verse 15. I warn you women, don't be in these wicked niggas' face. These are not men of God. And the reason why they got followers is because those niggas are just as wicked as he is.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 21 and verse 15. If a man have two wives, one beloved and another hated.
Because he said, when I don't like the mother of the child will suffer. Let's see if God says that's okay. Read.
And they have borne him children, both the beloved and the hated. And if the firstborn son be hers that was hated, then it shall be, when he maketh his sons to inherit that which he hath, that he may not make the son of the beloved firstborn before the son of the hated.
You cannot prefer the child of the mother that you love over the mother that you hate, child. That's law. Read it again, reader.
That it shall be, when he maketh his sons to inherit that which he hath, that he may not make the son of the beloved firstborn before the son of the hated, which is indeed the firstborn. But he shall acknowledge the son of the hated.
What?
But he shall acknowledge the son of the hated.
No, tell him don't go to the hospital.
He shall acknowledge the son of the hated.
Then when the doctor says the child is sick, don't go and visit.
He shall acknowledge the son of the hated.
Then when the child come out the hospital, you still don't care.
He shall acknowledge the son of the hated.
You wicked nigga. You black Hebrew Israelite lowlife nigga. Read.
But he shall acknowledge the son of the hated for the firstborn by giving him a double portion of all.
So it says to give them double. It says to give them double. You can't just be like, I hate the moms, so I'm going to neglect the child. That's not biblical. These dudes don't keep the law. And you stupid niggas that follow them, you dumb black Hebrew Israelite niggas, that's why they're able to exist. You prop them up. God gonna judge you too. Y'all ain't got no heart. Y'all are evil men. That's why y'all follow and support him. I wouldn't show my face in public if there was somebody coming out proving and recording me and showing that this is how I talk to people. With no justification. Let it play.
By myself, and it's exhausting.
You're not listening. Yes, you're right. And that's because when I don't like the mother of my children, whatever mother it is, I don't even want to be around the children. My issue is, and it's been like that, if I hate the mother of the child is always affected.
What type of man of God is taking pictures with his middle finger? That's some nigger stuff. He's still a nigger. And y'all look up to him like he's a man of God, because y'all a bunch of stupid niggas. Y'all don't know nothing about God. Y'all know nothing about this Bible. You know nothing about conducting yourself as an Israelite. Y'all are stupid niggas that left Christianity and you just put a different title on it. You put in Israelites. You're no different. And as a matter of fact, in this case, y'all worse than the Christians. Because you're supposed to know better. You read in the Bible, you saying that you're keeping the laws. And you support this nigga. This is him. This is his true essence. He don't care about nobody. That's why you got two middle fingers up. Picture me taking a picture like this. Let it play.
And that's not okay, but it's how I be feeling.
So no, I did not randomly leave a healthy marriage because I was angry. By the time I moved, the separation had already happened. The instability had already happened. The isolation had already happened. The financial damage had already happened. And I was largely raising our daughter alone. I made the decision I believed was safest and most stable for me and my child. And because of that, he is now refusing to help financially, saying he cannot afford to, even though my rent and expenses are lower here. Meanwhile, there always seems to be money for going out, nightlife, drinking, and other things that do not reflect someone who supposedly has no ability to help.
Because those money comes from his sucker followers. You suckers that give him money while he abuses his child. This is why he's able to do it, because you suckers send him money. He wouldn't be able to do what he's doing if it wasn't for you suckers, you unbelieving niggas that follow him and support him. Let it play.
Family. There also seemed to be an expectation that other people would step in financially to help cover responsibilities involving his wives and children, while he continues to have more children and seek more women. And I want people to understand something very clearly. This is not me speaking from bitterness. These are ongoing issues that directly affect my real life and my daughter's life right now. I also want to be clear about something else. Anything I say in this series, I'm prepared to back up. I have messages, recordings, timelines, proof. So if negative claims are made about me, I ask for the same standard in return. Prove it. Don't just say it, prove it. And if people are brought onto platforms to defend him or discredit me, I want viewers to pay attention to evidence, not the performance. Because from my experience, this became a pattern. Shift the blame, control the narrative, and make the person that's being harmed look like the problem.
That's what a narcissist does. They always push it back. You're the problem. You caused this. You're always doing things wrong. And you stupid niggas that's paid, you don't listen to black people, man. That's why sometimes it's better to go to the white man's court of law. You ain't going to get justice from wicked niggas. All the wicked followers, those wicked leaders he went to get counsel from, you niggas are wicked also. You knew what this man was doing. You're just as wicked as he is. You're just as wicked as he is. And that's what a narcissist does. And that's what you have in the Israelite community. You have a lot of narcissist men who watch the teachings on social media. They learn a couple of precepts, and all of a sudden they got a camp. And they're not keeping none of the laws. And they taking people money and making others look funny. Let her play.
Later in this series, I'm going to go deeper into what daily life and co-parenting actually look like behind closed doors. Because what people see online is not always what is real in private. And I also know I'm not the only woman who has experienced something like this. I used to question myself constantly, wondering if I was overreacting, if I was misunderstanding things, if I just needed to be better, do better, submit more, be quieter, be softer, be more patient. And honestly, one of the hardest things for me now is realizing there were times I repeated some of those same ideas to other women too. Not because deep down I truly believed that was what was the healthiest for them, but because I was operating from the mindset I was living under at that time. A lot of times I was saying what I believed my husband expected me to say, what I thought a good wife was supposed to say, what I thought being in order sounded like. And looking back now, that's painful for me because I can see how harmful that can be. I know what it feels like to be in something unhealthy and keep trying harder, keep shrinking yourself more, keep silencing yourself more, hoping that if you just say it better, do it better, submit better, or become softer, things will finally get better. So if I ever encouraged another woman to stay quiet longer than she should have, or tolerate something unhealthy because I was speaking from the mindset I was in during that time, I genuinely apologize. At the time, I thought I was helping. But looking back now, I understand much more clearly how easy it is to lose yourself while trying to become what someone else expects from you. And over time, things started to feel deeply wrong. Things were said to me that did not sit right. Things happened that I could not keep ignoring. And I'm going to walk you through all of that step by step. But before I even get into the full story, I want you to hear something.
Guess what? I'm not the one telling you I wish we could stay in love because I don't like you.
Now you're not saying that. Now you're not.
I don't like you. I don't like you. I'm not in love with you. Now what? What's up?
You're not hurting my feelings. You're not hurting my
Okay,
feelings.
well, I'm just telling you the truth. Good job. Good job.
What does
Just
that?
know that moving forward. Just know that moving forward.
You know, just know that the way that you're acting is not appropriate, and what you're doing is really childish for no reason.
No, what I'm doing is being honest with you. I don't like you. I'm not in love with you.
Now. But you weren't saying that last week when you were trying to inside of me to get me pregnant, but now you're saying that just because you want to hurt my feelings, but it's not hurting me.
Because you want a child. Because you want a
So
child.
what? So what? What does that matter? So you just inside of me?
Hey, pause it. He's telling her he don't like her, but she said last week you was trying to get me pregnant. That's how narcissists are. The more babies they give to you, the more control they'll have over you. Because they're not going to take care of the children. They know you're going to go back to your family. They know you're going to go see if you could get financial assistance for the child. That's their mind. That's how a narcissist is. Why are you trying to get a woman pregnant who you don't like? Only narcissists move like that. And it's control. The more babies you have, the less unlikely you'll be able to move on with your life or pick up and be in another relationship. It's a level of control. Let her play.
You're not hurting my feelings. You're not hurting my feelings.
Okay, well, I'm just telling you the truth. Good job. Good job.
What does that?
Just know that moving forward. Just know that moving forward.
You know, just know that the way that you're acting is not appropriate, and what you're doing is really childish for no reason.
No, what I'm doing is being honest with you. I don't like you. I'm not in love with you.
Now. But you weren't saying that last week when you were trying to inside of me to get me pregnant, but now you're saying that just because you want to hurt my feelings, but it's not hurting me.
Because you want a child. Because you want a
So
child.
what? So what? What does that matter? So you just inside of me?
I had a child with Brandy. I'm not in love with her.
So what?
Who the fuck you think you're talking
So why
to?
are you doing that?
You heard him? He named another woman's name. He said, I had a child with her, and I don't love her either. This is his true essence. This is his true. I bet you there's no woman that feels genuinely loved by him. I bet you there's none. For him to say that openly, I had a child with this woman, I don't even love her. Bring it back. I don't have to make nothing up on this guy. Your own tongue reveals who you are, what type of character you are.
You're trying to inside of me to get me pregnant, but now you're saying that just because you want to hurt my feelings, but it's not hurting me.
Because you want a child. Because you want a
So
child.
what? So what? What does that matter? So you just inside of me?
I had a child with Brandy. I'm not in love with her.
So what?
Who the fuck you think you're talking
So
to?
why are you doing that?
Shut up talking. You know what's crazy? What type of bitch wants to go back and forth with somebody who? Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Fuck it. Yeah. So I had a baby with Brandy. I didn't like her. Just like I want to have a baby with you and I don't like you.
Okay, so
Why does he do that? Because it's easier to control them. Once you have children, he don't care about the children, but it's a form of control. And you women need to pay attention to this. Don't think just because the baby's supposed to bring y'all closer together. The baby's supposed to come into the relationship in love. The man is openly saying, I had a baby with Brandy, I don't like her. The same way I'll get you pregnant, I don't like you. You're nothing to them. This is how this man thinks. This is the man that you niggas you look up to, that you follow. Y'all watching his debates and cheering him on and sending him money. You stupid niggas. That's why we stay away from y'all. That's why we have no affiliation with these other people. Stay away from us. We don't want stupid niggas like you around. Can't discern between right from wrong. Let it play.
Keep this conversation going.
okay, that's fine. So
Let's just stay on the phone while I brutally, verbally abuse you. Let's just stay on the phone and do that. Let's entertain that.
whose choice is that?
It's your choice.
Why? I'm not choosing to be verbally
Because you're
abused.
going back and forth. You can say, let's just get off the phone. You can say, let's talk about something else. Well, guess what? That's not you.
You're
a drama-fied bitch. That's what you
wow.
This is one of the moments that stayed with me.
doing this. Period.
You're not doing what? You're not accepting.
I'm not fucking with you no more.
You're
Period.
after you took
So I
everything
don't care.
from me. After
I
know
don't
you
care.
don't care.
Listen. Why are you even talking about that? I'm telling you, I'm not fucking with you. You need to start making plans so that you're not just asked out, bros. You're being dumb. You're not gonna be able to talk me back into this.
I'm not. How am I talking you into anything? You're the one that's trying to leave me as a single mother.
After you took all my shit,
You did.
The shit is already over. Okay,
You
it's already
did.
over and done. There's nothing you can do about
And
it.
now,
So why are you even saying it?
because you're doing it again, and you're still
Yeah.
happy doing that. That's why.
If I tell you to send me every dollar amount and you don't do it, I'm not fucking with you no more. Period.
Look, and that's the problem that you have, is that you can't understand the mentality that you have. I'm not a hoe. You're not my pimp.
Oh. You know what? Watch this. Watch. I'll be there tonight. I'm dropping off your car, and I'm blocking you from everything. From my kids' phones, from everything.
You're doing all of this when I'm pregnant with your child.
Varsity. No, I don't care. I
I'm
don't care.
pregnant with your
from
child.
Varsity and everything. And any bitch that wants to talk to you, she will not be able to be a part of Sakara.
And I'm pregnant with your child. And you won't call.
So he said, I'm blocking you from everything. And any bitch that wants to talk to you, they will not be a part of Sakari. This is a narcissist. This is narcissistic behavior. And if she didn't record him and play it and let everybody hear how he is, you people believe what you see on social media, what you see on the screen. This is a man that is mean. He is an evil man. And he don't care about whose life is destroyed. You heard him. I had a baby with Brandy and I don't like her. It's no problem for me to get you pregnant and I don't like you. Because the whole world revolves around him. And you suckers that follow him. Let it play.
Oh, nobody in Sakari.
It doesn't matter.
Look how you're acting. Look how you're acting.
Shut up while I'm talking. They gave me their taxes. They didn't say, oh, you're a pimp.
You didn't take $30,000. You didn't take 30.
Shut up while I'm talking. You little ugly ass bitch. Shut the fuck up.
I'm not ugly. I'm not ugly. So come again.
That's another way they try to break you down. They break down your physical appearance. He telling that woman she's ugly because it's psychological manipulation to break her spirit. That's how a narcissist moves. He's a psychotic narcissist, telling her the other women that they give the money up freely, you need to give the money up freely. Okay? Because they'll get with you. They'll use the Bible to use scriptures to make you feel like it's okay in the eyes of God to jump into a relationship like that. And you have no recourse. Can't nobody come in and save you after you put yourself in a situation like that. Okay? Luckily, in this case, she still was cool with her moms. Well, her moms could still help her out. What about the woman who they cut you off from your family? You cut off from your family because a lot of them like to do that. Then what you got? Nothing. You in the street with nothing to eat. And he's telling you openly, I don't care. I don't like you and I don't care about the child. The child has to suffer. Give me your money or walk. Just listen. Let's listen to him. Let it play.
Ugly.
Okay.
Anyways, you didn't take $30,000 from Brandy and Kia.
Now imagine hearing things like that over time. Trying to make sense of it. Trying to justify it. Trying to convince yourself that it's normal, or that it's leadership or correction or authority or righteousness. That's where I was mentally. And that's why I stayed as long as I did. Because when you're in it, especially when there's faith involved, when there's leadership involved, and when the people around you are reinforcing the same ideas, it becomes a lot harder to trust what your own mind and body are telling you. It becomes easier to explain things away, to minimize things, to keep giving grace, to keep trying harder, to keep believing the next conversation will fix it, or the next apology, or the next promise, or the next counsel. And eventually, something shifted in me, And I realized I could not keep ignoring what I was feeling. I could not keep ignoring what I was experiencing. And I could not keep ignoring what all of this was costing me. Not emotionally, not financially, and definitely not as a mother. Because at some point, I had to stop asking myself how to keep surviving inside something that was breaking me down and start asking what kind of life I was creating for myself and my daughter if nothing ever changed. That became a very hard question for me because I wanted my marriage to work. I wanted my daughter to have her father. I wanted peace. I wanted stability. I wanted the things that I had been promised. And for a long time, I kept hoping that if I just held on a little longer, something would shift, that things would settle, that things would become what I believed they were supposed to be. But eventually, I had to accept what I was actually living instead of what I kept hoping it would become. And that acceptance has been painful, but it also brought clarity. So in this series, I'm going to take you all the way back to the beginning, how I met him, what drew me in, the things I ignored, the things I excused, the things I normalized, and how it all slowly led to where I am now. Because this is bigger than one moment. This is bigger than one argument. And this is bigger than one breakup. This is about my life. This is about my daughter. This is about survival. And at some point, I realized I could either keep silently drowning in everything this situation has cost me, or I could start taking my life back. And I'm not willing to just sit around and be a victim, not for myself, and definitely not for my daughter. And if my story helps even one woman see her situation more clearly, ask harder questions, or feel less alone, then speaking is worth it. This is just the beginning.
That's only part one. Okay, so I want to take the banner down. Take the banner down, remove my picture. I want to see the whole screen. I want to address his behavior and show you that there's scriptures that go exactly against what he says. Okay? In the video, it said that she said that her father hooked her up with him. That's where your problem started. Okay, your father was a fool. I don't know what your relationship with him, but he's fool. He's an evil nigga, your father. To feel like this man would be a good husband for you. That's not a good father. I don't know what your relationship is with him, but that's not a good father. To put you off with a narcissist who's a bum that manipulates and uses people. Give me 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 8, because he said the child has to suffer when I don't like the mother, and he don't want to help with nothing. He wouldn't even come to the hospital. He didn't even care that his child was that sick that it had to be hospitalized.
The book of 1 Timothy chapter 5 and verse 8. But if any provide not for his own,
which we saw he's not doing. He don't care. Read.
Especially for those of his own house.
Especially his own daughter.
He has denied the faith and is worse than an infidel.
Okay? You're not in the truth, and you're worse than somebody that don't believe in God. You are worse than somebody that don't believe in God. And this is what you women don't think everybody coming with some Bible and calling themselves an Israelite and saying they're a camp, that they're men of God. You got fake snakes in this movement. And he's the biggest. This is the worst that I've seen. This is the worst that I've seen. Because he likes to attack other people and go after other Israelite camps and act like and prop himself up. And behind the scenes, this dude is mean. He's a monster. For you not to care, you openly said, I have babies with you and I don't like you. I don't care about you. That's no different from a nigga in the street. That don't care where you live, that don't care what you eat. There's no love. There's a cold-hearted, wicked nigga. This is why it's written in 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1. This is why God warned you about wicked niggas like him.
The book of 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 1. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come.
God is telling you that in the last days, before judgment comes to the earth, it's going to be dangerous. Why?
For men shall be lovers of their own selves.
That's him. This is scripture is written for him. All he care about is his own self. He don't care about you, and he don't want to hear about you. The world revolves around him. It's his way or the highway. And we the only camp that's warning you women. Because those other people that she let, they condone that behavior. Those other names that she dropped. Even the little light-skinned nigga with him that try to act like he's so smart. He's just as wicked as he is. That's his sidekick. And the stuff that you're saying there about him changing up the doctrine, I'm not going to mix that with this. We're not going to mix that. We're just waiting patiently. We're going to get on that, but I'm not mixing what he's doing there with this. Okay, we're going to be very strategic. We're going to let him talk just like when they recorded me and said that I crashed out. I didn't respond. I didn't do no response video. I'm a very patient man. Things always fall in my hands. I'm very patient. And all I have to do, if I say something about somebody, I'm not making it up. I'm not making it up. If I say something, and this is not from digging into his business. This is just from people sending me thumbnails. Every time he's doing a video to get views, he's using our picture. He uses images of us. And I already saw right off the bat, this nigga's wicked. Then he tries to say, well, that's how the software, it just keeps bringing up men in purple and gold. Ain't nobody having that problem but you. Or the Edomites that does it also. Whenever Edomites attack us, they say the same thing. Now you giving the same explanation the Edomites is giving for why our purple and gold image keep coming up in your thumbnails to draw views to you. Okay? Let's see part 2 of the video. No, what part 3 and 4, yes. Let's see part 3. And he exists because of you wicked people that follow him. The Lord gonna judge y'all too. You people that send him money and you see how he's mistreating that child, the Most High gonna judge you too. You're not gonna escape judgment. You empower him to be able to mistreat people and take advantage of people and be a fake leader.
Yeah.
Because remember, pause it. Remember when Alazar, Gorilla Hebrew, broke, when he left from them, he was talking about that G-Wagon that he got. How you got a G-Wagon, a $250,000, $250,000 Mercedes, one of the most expensive Mercedes, because you using people. And you got suckers sending you money. And you stealing from the woman that you're supposed to be taking care of. And a lot of you women are in this situation. He's just a nigga that memorized some scriptures. And now y'all looking at him like he's a man of God. That's why he's slowly leaving the Israelite movement. Now he's dressing like a Christian because he's realizing I can make more money as a Christian pastor. So we just waiting for the transition to come. So we can laugh at you stupid niggas that was sending him money and supporting him. Let it play.
It's on, boy. Yeah. EBT cards in the wallet while he preaching wealth online. Whole house on assistance, but he acting self-made live. G-Wagon in the videos, designer frames and lies. Telling women submit harder while they barely get by. Every season, new merch, new doctrine, new scheme. Same time manipulation, dressed up as a dream. Everybody fund the image, everybody play a role. Whole time leadership, draining people dry to feed the show. Yeah. You called it kingdom building. I call it
This girl
market.
can rhyme, man. This girl is nice with them bars. put it to the beginning. Sis, you should have just released these as singles. You could get paid. You could get paid. I'm telling you right now. Just start the video. She says he's using the people and driving a G-Wagon. And Gorilla Hebrew already told y'all that. He didn't go in like she going in, but he told y'all that. He said there's a lot of stuff that if I say it, he spared you. I don't know what his reason was for sparing you, but y'all always knew you was the most wicked one out of all of them. Even with Gorilla Hebrew's situation, this is 10 times worse. Because I was private between him and his woman. You an evil nigga, and there's proof of your character of who you are. Okay? Well, I call this spot on. That's why I didn't go in on his situation when he went through it. Okay? Let him play.
So we can do things that are reasonable, like
Turn it up.
take you off the lease. Like I can't take you off the lease of the car. I was trying to put the lease of my car in somebody else's, so I can't take you off the lease of the car.
You can. It's possible. I used to work at the bank and we did lease buyouts all the time.
So how do we do it?
You apply for your own loan and you get approved for the amount and put in your own name, or you get somebody else to co-sign with you and transfer the car to your guys' name.
Okay, maybe I'll consider that. As far as taking your name off the lease, yes. To be honest with you, you don't even need to come back up here. I can ship all your shit back down here.
No, I'm gonna come get my stuff and get my car.
Okay. All right. Okay, so you can come get your stuff, you can come get your car, and as far as every dollar back, you won't be getting that. That's like not even realistic.
No, you're not realistic of not giving it back to me because you didn't.
Okay,
you
listen to me. Go call vocab and get on vocab and go start that. Go further, because I will have a whole camp going against you and your whole family, because I got a whole list of shit too.
Like
so
what?
If you want to do it like that, listen. If you want to do it like that, we can't.
No, you want to do it like that, not me.
Okay,
you.
okay. So look, all right. So that's what we're gonna do. You can come back up here. You can get your shit. You can go back down there, and guess what? You can remarry a nigga, the same nigga that. I'm not even gonna do that. But
You can't help
listen,
yourself.
I can't help. Whatever you do, guess what? I promise you're going to force Zakari's hand. And
No.
every camp in Israel is going to be against you. So
It's because of what you did, because of what you're doing,
Shut up.
because of what you're doing.
No, whatever video you try to put out, I want you to know every camp in this truth will be against you. I want you to know that. Wi-Fi and everybody else.
Wow.
Okay, because of
Stop it. So he's using his power over the suckers, because you stupid niggas, y'all will support him to turn against this woman that he's abusing. He's threatened her, saying, I'll turn the whole camp against you. That's why I said you niggas are stupid. You are weak men. You're weak followers. You're simp Negroes. Pretending like you serving God. The man just said, I'll turn all of the camp against you before I do right by you. Let it play.
No, whatever video you try to put out, I want you to know every camp in this truth will be against you. I want you to know that. Wi-Fi and everybody else.
Okay, because of what you did, not me. Because of what you did, not me.
Okay, because of what I did.
Yeah.
And we know that he could do that because she named leaders of other camps that support his evil shit that he's doing. And that's why we put, when people ask why we got our disclaimer, we not affiliated with any of them other camps, because we know them niggas is wicked. They condone this stuff. They like this abusive behavior. Let it play.
Because of what you did, not me.
Okay, because of what I did.
Yeah.
You put your footage out. My people still gonna love me regardless. They know I'm not perfect.
Okay, it doesn't matter about the video footage or anything.
I'm done talking. I'm gonna leave your car in your driveway, and nigga, I'm blocking. I'm gonna block you from my kids, and nigga, I'm just done. All this recording shit, bitch, like all this recording, all of that shit, like
Why?
all this recording and all I'm put out the audio. Like,
What did you say?
I'm gonna leave this car in your driveway. I'm gonna block you from my kids, and I don't care if you remarry. Period. I'm done.
What did you say?
I am done.
What
period.
did you say? You're the one that's talking about you're gonna go on YouTube and do a live stream. Why are you mad at me?
I can go on YouTube and do a live stream about my motherfucking situation without telling them.
You literally just said that you were gonna go on there and talk about your third marriage. That's what you just said. That's what you just said. And who's your third marriage?
You.
Okay, so you could do all of that stuff about me, Marcos. Talking about you need national feedback.
I'm not gonna do that. But guess what?
But that's what you said you were gonna do.
Guess what? Okay, I'm gonna park this car. I'm telling you what I'm gonna do right now. You gotta record it.
No.
Park this car in your driveway. I'm gonna block you from my children. And then you
No.
go. I don't care.
No.
I don't care if that house goes to eviction. I don't care if this car goes
No.
to I'm just done.
No.
Period.
Then if you're done with me, then give me back my money so I could get out of debt. You want to leave me, then leave me how you found me. Leave me how you found me.
Is that gonna pay for this car?
Huh?
The money I gave you, is that gonna pay for this car?
It's going to take all my credit cards away, and it's going to get me back to where I was at before. And the car is going to get out of my name. I don't know how I'm going to do it if you just leave it on my doorstep, because you're not going to go to the bank and try to get a loan of your own or try to get it into somebody else's name. You're just going to leave it on me, which is fucked up. Like you've been saying that you were going to do anyways. This is what you're fucking doing. You're not right. What you're doing is not right. You're financially exploiting me and abusing me.
Here's what you don't understand. You're painting this picture of me when there's two women that will come out in public and say,
why?
This little half mixed breed bitch is lying. She's half devil.
What is your dad? What is your dad?
My dad is all black.
You're lying. You already told me that he was mixed with white, so stop lying.
My dad's dad is black.
Okay, my dad is black. So what is your dad and what am I?
I'm not my dad. Either way though, I'm gonna. You think you're funny? You think it's all fun and games. Like, why do you want it? Why do you want me to get into a point where I don't care what the Israel? Why do you want me to get to a point to where I could really?
It's not my fault.
No. Listen to me.
Now I don't know. She said my dad is black. I don't know if she's trying to insinuate that his father is not an Israelite. Is that what it sounded like to y'all?
It sounded like she said, the other men said, my dad was white.
Wow. Because he's acting like an Edomite. So that may make sense. Let it play.
I'm gonna. You think you're funny? You think it's all fun and games. Like, why do you want it? Why do you want me to get into a point where I don't care what the Israel? Why do you want me to get to a point to where I could really?
It's not my fault.
Care? No. Listen to me. Do you not care that I could turn into a greasy ass nigga and say fuck the Israelites and all of that and really get on you in a whole type of way that you couldn't even respond to? Why do you want to push a nigga there?
I don't.
Like, why do you want me?
I don't.
You know I got more money than you and your whole family. Why would you want me to just like say, all right, fuck that. I'm about to just slaughter this bitch. Why do you want me to do that?
You want to do that. That's not what I want you to do. That's what you want to do.
That's what I want to do. I want to kill you and your
Why you want to kill me and my family? Why would you even bring that up?
I just asked you a question, you fucking dummy. I want to kill you and your family. That's what you're saying?
That's what you're saying. I didn't bring that up. Who brought that up? Who brought that up? I never said you want to kill me and my whole family.
You know what? Here's the thing.
This is crazy.
I'm such a real nigga. I don't give a fuck. You can send this shit to fucking vocab alone. You fail to realize one thing is that I dedicated my life 15 years, and women have tried to destroy me before, and it didn't work. So you can record all you want and send it to vocab.net. I don't give a fuck. Like, you think you recording something that's gonna stop me from talking?
So why do you
being like how I'm being?
So why do you care?
So that shows he don't care about you people. He said you can send it to vocab, you can send it to whoever you want. Women have always tried to destroy me, he said. And that's why I'm telling you, what they're trying to present you on social media is not real. It's not real. You people are, it's a new generation of just stupid people that believe what they see on social media. Let it play.
Then why do you care if I recorded it then?
Take a picture of it, sign it,
Why?
send it to whoever you want. I don't give a fuck.
Then why do you care? Why are you making it a big deal then? Why are you saying anything about it? Just because the only reason why I said that?
I never fucked with a.
It's clear. You never did any of the stuff that you're doing with me with anybody else. That's why I'm in the situation that I'm in and nobody else is.
One nigga's on. Give me a second. I'm gonna be right out. Yeah. Wait, what happened?
After everything I shared about how it started, this is really where things began shifting for me. Because the red flags were there early. They just didn't look extreme at first. They weren't loud. They weren't obvious. A lot of it was subtle. It was how quickly everything became centered around him, his expectations, his structure, his way of doing things, his authority, and there didn't feel like much room to slow down and process what I was experiencing. There didn't feel like much room to question things. At the time, I convinced myself that was normal. I told myself that was order. That was how leadership looked. That this was what building a marriage was supposed to feel like. One of the biggest shifts early on involved finances. And I want to clarify something here. By the time I started sending money, I did not feel like I was just handing money over with no understanding of what was happening. Part of why I felt comfortable doing that in the first place was because I had been told I would be added to both his personal bank account and his business account. That mattered to me because in my mind, that meant transparency. That meant shared finances. That meant I would be able to see what was coming in, what was going out, and that we were actually building together. So when I started giving financially, I believed I was contributing into something I also had visibility into. I believed I was stepping into a real partnership, that there was structure, that there was a plan, and that we were building something together as husband and wife. That's what made it feel safe enough to trust. But over time, that follow through never actually happened. And once I started asking more directly about being added to the accounts, that's when things began shifting. And even before I fully realized how much was changing, I had already started giving. I was receiving disability payments around $756 a week, and I was sending that consistently. I had savings, investments, a 401k, and over time, I gave access to that too because I believed I was building a future. At the same time, I was being encouraged to use my credit, open credit cards, business credit cards, personal credit cards, make purchases, put things in my name. I had worked hard for my credit, and I was being told that this would help us grow. But what was really happening was I was taking on more and more responsibility while carrying all the liability and all the risks. At one point, I was told to sell my car. My payment was only around $300 a month. I was told financially it made more sense. So I did. I sold it. I made about $2,000, and that money was taken and used by my husband. So now I've lost my car, lost that money, and become more dependent. And I was not on any bank account. I didn't actually have access to the money I was sending. And I kept asking September, October, November, December. During a counseling call with my dad and Gorilla Hebrew in December 2023, in front of everyone, my husband said clearly he was going to add me to the account the next week. I have that recorded.
I'm not gonna be dogging you verbally. I'm still gonna put you on the account, and I'm not gonna threaten you with leaving you in debt.
So I followed up, and suddenly, small things became big issues: arguments, tension, separations.
Separation. And if you disobey any order, any one more order moving forward, is going to be an out-of-state separation. Now, guess what? You can say, you can't force me on a plane. Well, guess what? You're right. I can force you on a plane. But I just won't pay a motherfucking thing again and force you on the streets.
Thought you said you can't do that.
If you want to disobey my orders, I'm leaving your ass broke, dry, dusted, and disgusted.
You already did that. You're already doing
Oh, you're
that.
you're broke, dry, dusted, and disgusted right now.
Yes.
Dusted and disgusted. Shut up.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
man, I got the fucking ugliest, dumbest bitch in the world.
No, you
This
don't.
is crazy. Like you're broke, dusted, and disgusted, but you're at a house with heat and a car, and you're not wanting for nothing.
Then, eventually it became, he just changed his mind. What he told me wasn't realistic. He didn't feel comfortable. His other wives weren't on the account, and it wouldn't be fair But that didn't feel fair because his other wives had not given up their life savings in a matter of months. And at the same time, he was still calling and texting constantly, not to check on me, not good morning. It was about money. Did you call your workers' comp attorney? When is your settlement coming? When are you sending more? And I need people to understand how confusing that was. I'm not trusted enough to be on the account, but trusted enough to fund everything. And I didn't have oversight over what was being done with the money. I was trusting that it was being handled the way I was told. And that also showed up in how my credit was being handled. Because part of what I had been told was that the money being sent would be used to take care of these financial obligations. That included my credit cards. But over time, I started realizing they were not actually being paid down the way that he presented they would be. A lot of times, it was minimum payments, sometimes only around $100. Not enough to actually reduce the balances, not even enough to keep up with the interest that had been accruing. And in some cases, I was also being told to use those same credit cards to cover rent and other expenses. That was another part that became hard to process later. Because from my perspective, I was sending money with the understanding that these things were being taken care of. But in reality, the balances were increasing, the interest was increasing, and the financial damage kept building underneath me while I was trusting that there was a plan. Another thing I overlooked at the time was his past. He has openly said publicly that he used to be a pimp. That's not me exposing anything. He has said that himself. And back then, I saw that as his past. But looking back now, certain patterns felt different. The way money was approached, the pressure, the repeated focus on what I could provide. And meanwhile, I was being told he was already established, a six-figure man, that he didn't need my money, that everything was already handled. But somehow I was still expected to hand mine over anyway. And the contrast got harder to ignore because I wasn't actually being taken care of. I was funding things. And it showed up in everyday life too. Simple things I had regularly done before I met him, getting my nails done, getting my wax, basic self care, suddenly became a problem. Too expensive. Not necessary. Questioned. Even wanting a certain hairstyle became an issue. If me and a friend wanted massages, it had to be something cheaper. Meanwhile, I never received those things. No thoughtful gifts, no clothes, no shoes, no gestures that reflected care. Meanwhile, he was in new clothes, jewelry, driving luxury cars, going out at night, spending freely. I even have recordings of him admitting he spends a couple $100s a day. So it wasn't that the money wasn't being spent, it was just, it wasn't being spent on me. And part of what made that even harder for me to process was the financial contradiction I was seeing in real time. Because while I was being told certain things could not be afforded, while I was sending money, while I was trying to survive off disability and eventually government cash aid after those payments maxed out, the household was also receiving EBT benefits. Me, him, and each wife separately. There were even times he asked me to send money because the EBT for the household had already been used for the month, and he didn't want to spend.
Pause it. Is he bragging that he has a G-Wagon and has EBT? We need help, and okay, yeah, come over tomorrow. Maybe me and I might come over. Why help me? Like with food stamps, or if you had some money from selling, oh yeah, it's the 4th today, but we can't use it. Just pull it back a little bit. Maybe 10 seconds.
Each wife separately.
Pause it. Because somebody read that. That's not the one. have a G-Wagon, LOL, and still get EBT. They can't see that shit, LOL. Wow. This is crazy because y'all sending him money. Just let it play, man. He's robbing this woman.
And each wife.
He got you suckers sending him money, following him like y'all some camp. This is crazy. Let it play.
Separately. There were even times he asked me to send money because the EBT for the household had already been used for the month, and he didn't want to spend his own money. At the same time, I was watching a luxury vehicle worth over $250,000 being driven. Expensive purchases continue, and money continue being spent
So
in
he
ways
got a
that
$250,000 vehicle, because that's how much the G-Wagon costs, 250 G's. She said it out of her own mouth. Alazar from before, when they was trying to embarrass him, he said it, that this guy is driving a $250,000 vehicle and still stealing this woman's money, her disability. And when that money, food money, runs out in the house, he don't want to spend his money that he gets from you suckers that follow him, that send him money in a fake camp that y'all in. So he's calling her to give him money. That's how a pimp moves. That's how a pimp is a narcissist. And they don't care about anybody else. That's why he openly said, I had a baby with Brandy and I don't care about her. I'll get you pregnant, I don't care about you. Because it's all about control. Let it play.
line up with what I was being told. So, from my perspective, it felt incredibly
It says everyone's stamps are gone. So he's taking the money from all the other women. You're going to have to use a little of your cash. Let it play.
Because on one hand, there were conversations about finances being tight or why support cannot be provided. Ask this person for this, ask this person for that. And on the other hand, I was watching spending continue in ways that became harder and harder for me to ignore. My accounts had to be monitored. Every single dollar that I had to be known about and also had to have been accounted for. I was instructed on a plan to put a $125,000 vehicle in the name of my business, a Mercedes AMG GT63 that he personally went and picked out. He ended up driving that car as his everyday vehicle, putting miles on it regularly instead of continuing to use his G-Wagon, saying that gas was too expensive.
Stop! Put that vehicle back. He got two Mercedes.
Ended up driving that.
So he got the $250,000 G-Wagon. Bring that other one back. Bring it. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Slowly. Back. Keep going back. Keep going back. Keep going back. Let it play.
I was instructed on a plan to put a $125,000 vehicle in the name of my business.
So, on top of the $250,000 G-Wagon, he had another $125,000 Mercedes-Benz. So you're talking about $375,000 in cars. You niggas got the nerve to do videos against us? You fix your face to do videos against us? Nobody in IUIC got no cars like that. None of us. If you put all of our cars together, we don't have that much. Bring all of our cars in leadership that don't come to nowhere near that much. And you niggas got the nerve to put our name in your mouth. She said that car is $125,000 plus the $250,000 G-Wagon. That's $375,000, almost $400,000. She said this was his everyday regular ride. I dare you niggas. I dare you niggas to do a video with us in it. I double dare you, as Samuel Jackson say. I dare you. Black Hebrew Israelite niggas. Let it play.
Mercedes AMG GT63 that he personally went and picked out. He ended up driving that car as his everyday vehicle, putting miles on it regularly instead of continuing to use his G-Wagon, saying that gas was too expensive.
So he used that as his personal car because he didn't want to mess the G-Wagon up. Bruh. Let it play. Let it play.
Keep the mileage lower on his other vehicle. I was told it would help my business. It would help my credit, help us build. That we would start a business renting the car out and basically have it paying for itself. That didn't happen. So instead of the car operating the way it had originally been presented to me, it became another financial obligation in my name while he was the one primarily using it. Once we got to the dealership, and after my credit had already been run, I was told the vehicle could not go under the business because my business was registered in a different state. The salesman made it clear that I was approved on my own, but I wanted both of our names on it. I was told since I was already approved by myself to leave it in my name because my husband would be making the payments anyway. And later, that same vehicle got held over my head repeatedly. I was told he wouldn't pay it, that I would be stuck with it. Same thing with the rent, bills, financial obligations. It all became something that could be threatened, used, thrown in my face. And by that point, it stopped feeling like finances. It started feeling like leverage, like control, like knowing I was in a position where
he's saying to add him to her business. The bishop spoke about that 10 years ago. The bishop spoke about these niggas. They meet women that got businesses, they got education, and they want to be added to that as one of their wives because they say, I'm your husband, you have to add me. She had a perfect 800 credit score, and these men will suck the bishop. I could take you back to 2015 where the bishop was bringing up this from years ago, 12 years ago, 13 years ago, about you women that these black Hebrew Israelite niggas, they find women with good credit, good businesses, and then tell them you need to add me because I'm your husband now, and they just suck you dry. Add me on everything he puts. I need an 800 credit score. Okay, I'll let you know what else I need as I go. One thing to consider is paying down the personal card some more because it will also reflect the balance on all our credit records. Okay, fine. I added you on Navy Fed personal credit limit, 18,000. What's the balance? I saw these texts. It's him lining her up to fleece her and take money from her. Try that pimp shit with us. Try that nigga shit against us. Try that with us. Try it. I dare any of you niggas to try that with us. And see watch how it turns out for you. Let it play.
wasn't simple. Because slowly, without fully realizing it while it was happening, I went from being financially independent to being in a position where everything was tied to him. And that kind of dependency changes everything. Because now it's not just emotional. Now it's survival. How do you leave? How do you rebuild? How do you recover from decisions you made in trust when you no longer have the resources that you have before? And by the time I started asking these questions, a lot had already happened. Over time, the money I sent, the credit I used, the debt I took on, all of it added up. And eventually, I lost over $60,000. My credit was damaged. My financial stability changed completely. I ended up having to file for bankruptcy. And one of the hardest parts for me now is hearing him say it was so long ago, that I should stop bringing it up, move on, let it go.
How a narcissist is. Narcissists do that. They try to change it. Why you keep they won't rectify the situation or apologize. But they'll make it look like you're the problem. Why you keep bringing up what I did to you? You won't let it go. You're holding a grudge. You need to move on. That's narcissistic behavior. Let it play.
Didn't disappear. My credit is still affected. My options are still affected. My financial stability is still affected. If those things had not happened, I would have choices I don't currently have. I would have more independence than I have now. So for me, this isn't about staying stuck in the past. It's about the reality I'm still living with today. And it wasn't like I kept all of this to myself either. At one point, I went to his former camp leader and I told him what was happening, that my husband was lying, that he wasn't doing what he said he would do.
Wait, who she said she went to? To the former camp leader. Okay.
Not being a man of his word. And his response to me was, "Is this the first man that's ever lied to you?" And I said, "No." And he said, "Okay, then you should know better." He told me I had to start accepting accountability for the things that happened. And that stuck with me because I remember thinking, this is not some random man. This is someone people follow. Someone I was told I could trust.
That's the point. That's the point. That's the point. That's the point right there. That's the point right there. That's the point right there. He put this image up of himself and y'all bought it. So she's believing what she's seeing until she's living it and realizing she just jumped in bed with the devil himself. You black Hebrew Israelite polygamist narcissist. The devil himself. She realized she's in bed with the devil himself. Let her play.
Someone I was supposed to be.
Listen, the reason why I'm not going to address her mistakes is because a lot of stupid niggas is following him also. Grown men giving him money and following him and supporting him and propping him up like he's some leader, he's some teacher, so it's easy to deceive him. It's no different from when I was watching Malcolm X and everybody was gassing up Elijah Muhammad. Then Malcolm X realized that he's grimy. He started putting his business out there. Out of the hurt when he realized he's not the man that the world portrays him as. Let it play.
The leadership for help with. And somehow the responsibility still came back to me. Even when I did ask for help. Even when I did speak up. And I also have recordings from these conversations. I remember talking to Chief directly and trying to explain what was happening. How certain things being said and done were affecting me, how unstable things felt, and how serious some of it had become. For example, my husband would constantly tell me he was going to give me a bill of divorce. At one point, he had even typed one up in a text message to me, but he never hit send. I wanted him to send it. And what Chief said to me was, people say things they don't mean when they're mad. And yes, sometimes that can be true. I understand that. But in that moment, it felt like one more explanation for behavior I had already been living with over and over. Because from my perspective, the pattern kept feeling the same. Something would happen. I would speak up. I would ask for help or accountability. And somehow it would circle back to an explanation for why my husband behaved the way that he did. Chief also told me he was not co-signing my husband's behavior. He said he talks to him often, that he gives him advice all the time. And I remember saying, not that I've seen. Because from where I was standing, every time something serious happened and I reached out, it felt like the behavior was ultimately minimized or explained away. And what made that harder was hearing the same thing over and over from different people. That's just how Deacon is, or you know how Deacon is. That's just his personality. And after hearing that enough, it starts feeling like the behavior itself is becoming normal to everybody around him. Meanwhile, I'm the one living inside of it. I'm the one trying to figure out what is okay, what is not okay, and why things keep getting brushed past. And that felt incredibly isolating and painful because it made me feel even more alone inside of something I was already struggling to make sense of. At first, the oversight was all lying on Alazar. However, no one was able to hold my husband accountable, mainly because at the end of the conversations, after everyone was off the councils, my husband would say, I'm his wife, and at the end of the day, what he says goes, and that no one can tell him what to do, not even Alazar. He said that if Alazar told him to do something he didn't want to do, he would just leave the camp. Why can't I record what you're saying to me and what you're doing to me so that you could just get away with it?
You can, but you won't be able to show your face after we, especially when I tell Elazar this shit. You won't be able to show your face.
Because I recorded a conversation of you cussing me out.
Listen to what I'm saying. You won't even be able to pay somebody $20 for a blowjob after this. After we get done with you.
I would never do that anyways.
I'm just letting you know.
And you're doing all of that after you just said you'll be willing to leave Sakari because you don't want to uphold your end of the deal.
Stop. Did he say he would pay somebody $20 for a blowjob after speaking to her? Yo, this dude is a slime ball. And the crazy shit is niggas is listening to him and following him and try to make like there's a comparison. This is just like niggas will really try and compare like there's any comparison to what we doing versus what they doing. And I told y'all, just give it some time. Just be patient. Just give it some time. Everything that's done in the dark will come to the light. And we'll see who was wrong and who was right. This is a evil. I think he's the worst out of everybody that I've experienced in this Israelite thing here. This is the worst. Bring it back. The man told the woman she wouldn't get $20 for what? For a blowjob.
Especially when I tell Elazar this shit. You won't be able to show your face.
Because I recorded a conversation of you cussing me out.
Listen to what I'm saying. You won't even be able to pay somebody $20 for a blowjob after this. After we get done with you.
I would never do that anyways.
I'm just letting you know.
And you're doing all of that after you just said you'll be willing to leave Sakari because you don't want to uphold your end of the deal.
No, it's not uphold.
Yes, it is.
No, if I said that I'm going to be forced to do something that I absolutely don't want to do, then yes, I will leave Sakari, but not the truth.
Okay, Marco.
And I'll tell anybody that. Record that. Write it down. Take a picture.
So eventually, it must have become too much for Alazar, and he had said we had to talk with higher elders to help us out, that he couldn't counsel us anymore. But my husband always found a reason he no longer respected those elders' input and did not take their advice. And I also want to address something here, because I already know it's going to come up. Yes, I documented certain conversations over the years, and I'm glad I did, because by that point, there had already been too many serious conversations, too many promises, too many threats, too many moments where things were said clearly in one moment and then later denied, reframed, or minimized. And this wasn't hidden. There are recordings that I have where he literally told me to record my own videos. He told me to go live many times, told me to put our business out publicly if I wanted to, told me to send the recordings to Vocab Malone, send them to Saw Nutter, send them to whoever, saying he didn't care, saying he was a real one and that the community would side with him anyways. And there are recordings where things were said to me that were degrading and vulgar enough that hearing them back now is still hard. So yes, I documented those things. Because when finances are involved, when threats are involved, When major promises are being made, and when conversations keep escalating and later get reframed, documentation matters. And looking back now, I'm grateful I trusted myself enough to keep records in real time. Because later on, when I started speaking up more directly and asking for accountability, having proof mattered, especially when dealing with someone this volatile and unstable. And I'm going to get more into that in the next episodes too. Looking back now, I can clearly see that those early red flags, the ones I explained away, justified, and gave grace to,
Hey, go to 4.
Everybody knew, nobody said nothing. I was still believing, everybody was fronting. Smiles at the feast, but the vibe said something. Looking back now, yeah, the silence was disgusting. Everybody knew, nobody said a word. Every time I spoke, somehow I was the disturbed. Everybody heard, everybody observed, but they let me learn it the
Yo, her
hard way.
music is crazy, man. Her music is crazy. Everybody know, nobody say nothing. The music is, she can make money off that. She could easily make money off that. Forward it up. She produced them songs and she did that. Yeah, I know I don't big up no music that ain't nice. Let it play.
After everything I shared about the financial red flags, I want to talk about what started happening emotionally once I actually moved to Washington. Because what people need to understand is that things did not slowly become unhealthy years later. Some of the most disturbing moments started happening within the first month of me being there. And at the time, I didn't fully understand what I was experiencing. I kept trying to explain things away. I kept telling myself maybe he was stressed. Maybe he had been drinking too much. Maybe this was just one bad night. Maybe I misunderstood. Maybe I
And
needed to be
it's
more
crazy.
respectful.
A lot of the women, they make excuses for the evil and they try to rationalize, well, maybe he did it because of this. Maybe he did it because, maybe he's not the wicked nigga that I'm seeing before me. And a lot of times women try to give them a pass and try to see if there's any good instead of saying, this nigga's wicked. Stop ignoring the red flags. Then when shit go wrong, you want people to listen to you, and that's why I'm not saying that in your case. I'm speaking in general to all you women that you ignore what you're seeing and make excuses for it. Like, people don't change. What they showing you from the beginning is what they are. In the beginning, you should be on your P's and Q's, trying to win the person over. But if the person is showing you from the jump he's a piece of shit, don't start rationalizing in your head, well, maybe he's not that way. Maybe it's just because of this. Maybe he was having a bad day. Maybe he didn't get enough sleep. Maybe he had his boss screamed at him at work. No! That's the way he is. Real man don't dump his shit on the people around him. Okay? Real men have a circle of men that you talk men shit with. Okay? Like the bishop always say, yo, who's your circle? Who's your go-to guys when things is going wrong? Create that circle. You don't dump your shit on your family and your kids and have your wife wondering what the hell type of man I hooked up with. Let it play.
More patient, or more submissive. I was still trying to believe I had made the right decision. I had just moved my life and I had trusted him. I had already started building my life around him, so I was not looking for reasons to leave. I was looking for reasons to stay. The first major incident happened after he wanted me to meet his other wives. I had gone to lunch with one wife and then dinner with the other. After dinner, me and the second wife didn't have small children with us at the time, so we asked him if it was okay for us to continue our night, maybe go play darts and have another drink. He said yes. He even said he might join us. So we went. While we were there, we saw him outside driving through the parking lot. And I thought he was about to park and come inside, but he didn't. Instead, he texted us telling us to leave. So I responded with a thinking emoji because I was genuinely confused. I wasn't trying to be disrespectful. I wasn't challenging him. I was just wondering where he was going or why he wasn't coming inside after saying he might join us. That's when he called me. And that was the first time he really went off on me like that. He started cussing me out, telling me to go home right now, calling me out my name, asking who I thought I was, and telling me I don't need to send emojis when he tells me to do something. I was shocked. I started trying to explain myself, but the more aggressive he got, the more scared I became. So eventually I just said okay and I left. On the way home, he called me again. He was still angry. He told me that when he tells me something, I need to just say okay. I don't need to ask questions. I don't need to send emojis. I don't need to say anything else. He compared me to the other wife, saying she just said okay and I didn't. He said I needed to learn respect. And I remember crying while driving home. That was the first time I had experienced that side of him. And because it was late, because he had also been out drinking, because that was already part of his normal routine, I told myself maybe he had just had too much to drink. Maybe alcohol got the best of him. Maybe this wasn't really him. When I got home, he told me to call him once I settled. So I did. And when I called, I wasn't combative. I wasn't yelling. I wasn't trying to fight. I was apologetic. I was trying to de escalate. I was trying to fix it. I was trying to understand what I had done wrong. And then the conversation shifted. He broke down crying. He started saying he was worried about me hurting his children. He said he wouldn't be able to handle that. He asked me over and over if I wanted to leave him. And when a grown man is crying to you, asking if you're going to leave after you've already moved your life and trusted him, of course I said no. I told him I would stay. I told him I wouldn't hurt his kids. And after that emotional shift, the conversation turned sexual. He wanted me to send him pictures and videos. Then came the affection, the reassurance, the love bombing. And because of that, I convinced myself it was just a bad night. I thought maybe he had been drinking, maybe he was triggered, maybe he regretted it, and maybe it wouldn't happen again. But it did happen again. The second major incident happened during the Feast of Tabernacles camping trip. Me and the two wives had been sitting together after the kids went to sleep. He was at another lot with his friends drinking, and later that night he came back to our lot and said something to his second wife about not needing any more drinks. At some point, he acted like he was going to pour water on her. She was telling him to stop, and he was telling her to put her hands down, to be quiet, and to sit still. I saw her saying stop, so I chimed in. I said something like, "Honey, don't do that. That's rude." But I said it with a smile. I was trying to keep it light. I was not trying to challenge him, and I thought I was helping. But he turned on us. He told me not to tell him what to do with his wife. He said he had half the mind to send both of us bitches home that night. He said me and Kia were out of order, that we had been hanging too close together, and that we thought we could tell him what to do. He said we needed to go to our tent and go to bed right now. Mind you, this was in the middle of the night, around 1 a.m. We were at a campsite over an hour away from home, and he was threatening to send us home in the middle of the night, except for Brandy. I tried to talk to him because I was genuinely confused and embarrassed. I wanted to understand why he had spoken to us that way, but he told me not to talk. He told me to walk away from him right now or he was going to show me worse than what he had just shown me. He told me if I knew what was best for me, I would turn around and go do what he said and stop being out of order. That moment scared me. I asked if I could go to my car because I needed space. Me, Kia, and Brandy were sharing a tent, and I just needed to be alone for a few minutes to process what had happened. He asked if I was leaving. I told him no, that I just needed space. Eventually, he said that was fine. So I went to my car and I sat there for maybe 20 minutes, crying, contemplating what I had gotten myself into. Kia texted me to check on me and asked me to come back to the tent. She told me things were going to be okay, so I went back. When I got back to the tent, Brandy was there. She asked if I was okay, and I said yes. And then she said something that stayed with me. She basically told me not to worry about what he had just done, that he always does things like that and says things he doesn't mean. She said he wasn't actually going to send us home, that he'd just be saying stuff. And something clicked in me, because I remember thinking, wait, he always does this? This is normal here? This is something everybody already knows.
That's what I said. There's no way this abuse to her is new. This is something that he's used to do. Okay, he's used to doing this. This is not new. This is something he's used to. This is his normal behavior. Let it play.
This is something everybody just accepts. That was one of the first moments where I realized this may not have been a one-off. This may not have been alcohol. This may not have just been a bad night. This may have been who he was. But even then, I was still trying to process it. I still didn't fully understand the pattern yet. After that, me and Keo were never really close again. It felt like after that incident, there was pressure for her to distance herself from me. Then suddenly there were different reasons why she didn't like me or she didn't want me around. She would ignore me when I came into a space where she was present, and later it was blamed on her having RBF. But from my perspective, that incident changed the dynamic between us. And that's something I would start noticing more and more. Whenever there was closeness between the wives or any kind of unity, it could become a problem. Instead of building safety or sisterhood, the environment created division, insecurity, and competition. That's what he wanted. That's what he cultivated. The next day at the camping trip, another sister noticed a visible shift in me. She could tell something was wrong. I was sad. I was not myself. I started to vaguely explain what happened to her, but she stopped me and said that this wasn't the time or the place. She said after the camping trip, we would go to dinner and talk about it. So we did. At that dinner, I told her how my husband was treating us. I told her what was happening behind the scenes. I had a genuine bond with this sister. My husband had referred me to her when I originally went to him for spiritual counseling. So it was okay for her to know all the intimate details of my life previously. But now, since it's regarding him, I needed to keep quiet. I guess she told her husband, and after that, her husband stopped coming to camp for about 2 months. From what I understand, when he left, he said he wasn't supportive of the way leadership was treating their wives. And my husband was angry about that. After that, I was made to feel like I had done something wrong by speaking. I was told I run my mouth, that I tell his business, and that if that man fell out of the truth, then him and his family's blood would be on my hands. That kind of pressure is hard to explain unless you understand the environment. It wasn't just, you embarrassed me. It became spiritual. It became guilt. It became, if someone leaves the truth because of what you said about me, that blood is on you. So I stopped talking to her for a while, and that's how isolation happens. Not always by someone physically.
Yeah, I'm glad she put that part, because everybody try to play stupid, like they don't know what's going on. And she's showing that other people do know. Other people do see it. Y'all just fake. Y'all don't believe in God and you ain't in no truth. You no different. You worse than the Christians. You are worse than the Christian church. I say it all the time. Let it play.
Go away, but by making the consequences of speaking feel so heavy that you start silencing yourself. Looking back now, there's something else I realized. At the time, I thought the problem was his behavior. I thought he had anger issues. I thought he drank too much. I thought he treated people badly, but I still believed he was sincere. I still believed he genuinely believed what he was teaching. I still believed he was sincere about the doctrine. That part didn't start unraveling until much later, because over time, I started watching major beliefs change, not small opinions.
Did we not say that about him? Did we not say that months before? He's unstable. He keeps switching shit. He's trying to go over the bishop teaching and everybody else teaching to say we wrong. Now this woman is confirming everything that we said. And this goes to show you how easy it is to manipulate people. Okay? Because you got a lot of stupid people in his circle. You got weak, stupid men in his circle that can't even see what he's doing. This woman comes into his life for a short time and realizes the nigga's fake. She's telling you he's switching the doctrine up. And got that little yellow nigga next to him co-signing that bullshit that they teaching. Let it play.
Positions. Positions he publicly taught. Positions he built platforms around. Positions he sold products around. For years, he taught Israel-only salvation. Then later, he began teaching Gentile salvation. And what
Because it makes more money. Okay? It makes more money. He could get more suckers because now that the Israelite movement is popular and people are seeing how real it is, if he switch it up and say this is for you, more people are going to send him money. More people are going to make this. Woman is telling you what we were saying long before. Y'all couldn't see it. We're not in his circle. We saw the okey doke. We saw how fake he was. Pull that back a little bit, please. Pull that back a little bit, please.
and gave grace to were the beginning.
Damn,
And
how
what
far
made
y'all went
that
back?
difficult?
I just went right to her saying out of his own mouth, she watched him doing a switch up.
Taught Israel-only salvation. Then later, he began teaching Gentile salvation. And what made that difficult for me was that he had publicly said before that if someone wanted to make real money, they would teach Gentile salvation.
Woo! Yo! Do we not call this? Do we not call this that it's just a money-making scheme for you suckers? You stupid people in this camp that y'all don't know the scriptures, how easy it is to manipulate you like a pulpit pimp. You niggas are simps. He told her to her ears, I can make more money teaching salvation. It's for people who it's not. He don't care about the Bible. He don't care about God. Can we just pull it back one more time? One more time. One more time. Oh, gosh. All praises, sister.
Around. Positions he sold products around. For years, he taught Israel-only salvation. Then later, he began teaching Gentile salvation. And what made that difficult for me was that he had publicly said before that if someone wanted to make real money, they would teach Gentile salvation. Then later, that became the
That's why a lot of camps are attacking us and they won't get on board. They know that they will lose the suckers that they have. Because that's when you find out this Bible is real and this has nothing to do with you. And you are like, why? What can I do to get in? You want to hear somebody teaching contrary. And you're going to pay them money and support them to teach that. That's why he's doing the Christian shuffle now. Let it play.
teaching. At the same time, he changed his positions on the names Yahweh and Yahushai. For years,
Remember how they used to argue us about saying Yahweh and Yahushai. He got that from GMS. Now he changed his position on that because he see that ain't sticking. It ain't working for GMS. It ain't working for them other camps that say you must say that. Okay, it was popular with the suckers that was with them that don't study. Now she said, he's like, I don't know about saying that name. Before it was, you must say the name. You must say the name. Let it play.
For years, he defended those names. For years, families learned those names. For years, children learned those names. Then later, he began saying those were not actually the original Hebrew names and that Paleo-Hebrew was not even a true biblical dialect. This was especially difficult for me because those are the names I pray in. Those were the names I believe in. Those were the names I prayed throughout my pregnancy. Those were the names I prayed during my labor and delivery. I had a healthy pregnancy and a delivery that went exactly how I had hoped. And the entire time I was praying in those names. When I asked him about it, he told me I could still use those names and that it would not affect my salvation. He just no longer believed they were the original names. But what confused me was that he had spent years teaching those names publicly. Just a few months before he made this change, he had produced children's books called Yahweh's Kingdom for His Children and Yahushai's kingdom for his children. Families bought those books. Parents taught their children from those books. And when I pointed that out to him and said, "You just sold all those books with Yahweh and Yahushai's name in it," he told me, "I know, I'm going to have to make some more and put Gentiles in there." That conversation stuck with me.
Wow. He thought more money, more money, more money. You can't make this up, bro. You cannot. I told you, you the worst nigga that I've came across in all my years of this Bible watching you hucksters, you black Hebrew Israelite scam artists. You are the worst. And I call that without even being in your business, just watching on the surface the stuff you was doing to try to manipulate people against us. I didn't even have to dig into your business. Okay, there's other people who I knew more about them. You I didn't even have to do no search. I just was calling it. But just looking at you and looking at how you was teaching and how you are spiritually, that you just had an evil, dark spirit over you. And you got the nerve to be attacking other Israelite groups and making video about other people's doctrines. And you stupid niggas follow him. Let it play.
I wasn't thinking about money at first. I was thinking about sincerity. I was thinking about belief. I was thinking about whether the person teaching these things actually believed them when he was teaching them. What made it even more confusing was learning later that he publicly stated he and Hassad had already presented this information to Alazar before the doctrine had changed publicly, and that Alazar rejected it. So now I'm looking at the timeline wondering, if you believed this before the public change, then how long were you teaching something different from what you actually believed? And if these were major doctrinal issues, why continue producing materials, selling books, charging for classes, and building products around positions you no longer agreed with?
Because these people are suckers and they don't study. It's easy to manipulate them and mislead them. And you can get money off them. Let it play.
Those were questions I wasn't ready to ask yet, but they started forming. Because some of the same things that made me question him as a husband eventually made me question him as a teacher. The contradictions, the inconsistency, the certainty one day and the reversal the next. And that wasn't limited to salvation or the names. At one point during our separation, he told me he had reread Matthew and that he believed he could actually give me a bill of divorce, even though there had been no fornication. He was preparing to write one. Then, a couple weeks later, he changed his position again and said he had misunderstood the passage and could not give me a bill of divorce after all. Watching major position change and then change again started raising questions I wasn't ready to ask yet. But that's a much bigger conversation for another episode. Back then, I wasn't asking those questions yet. Back then, I was still trying to make sense of the man I had just married. Then came the third incident, the vegan dog incident. And I know that may sound small from the outside, but this is one of those moments that shows how quickly something minor could become emotionally destructive. One night, close to midnight, he texted me asking if I had vegan dogs. He had been out drinking and bar hopping, and this was something that became normal over time. Him expecting me to get up late at night, make food, bring him food, or even drive long distances by myself to get him something to eat after he had been out all night. That night, I packed up the food and I brought it to him. But because it was not technically my day, he told me to leave it at the door instead of coming inside because another wife was inside. At first, I was joking. I said it was kind of weird to leave food on the doorstep. It was light. It was playful. There were LOLs in the messages. I was not attacking him. But later, he called me, and that phone call changed something in me. He cussed me out badly. He called me names. He told me I was disrespectful. He said I only wanted to go inside because I didn't get my way. He said his other wives would never talk to him like that. He said, and I quote, "My bitches don't talk to me like that."
Stop it, 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 stop it! He said, "My bitches don't talk to me like that," because he was out partying, told her, drive food over to my house and leave it at the door, but you can't come inside because you're not scheduled. This is not a scheduled visit. Did I not tell y'all about this stuff before when we brought this up? That you must hate yourself for a man to put you on a schedule, but he could still use you as a slave. Come over and drop the food off and then go back to your house. You ain't coming in because I'm not scheduled to see you. This is not something that we said this stuff before she brought it out. We said this stuff. And these men are trying to make it look like they got this. This is working fine. That's why we stay away from you niggas. You black Hebrew Israelite low-life niggas. Let it play.
He said I looked like a clown. He insulted my intelligence. He called me dumb. He told me he felt like sending me back to San Diego. And while this was happening, his roommate was in the car with him, listening and laughing. I stayed mostly quiet on that call. I froze. He told me to speak. He told me to express myself, but I had nothing to say. I was shocked. I was hurt and I was overwhelmed. I was crying, and I remember feeling like no matter what I said, it would be used against me. What makes this moment even harder for me to process is that
that's how narcissists are. They'll cuss you out. If you argue, they use the words against you. If you stay quiet, they say you're being disrespectful. Why you're not answering me? That's narcissistic behavior. Okay? Pay attention to that. They cussing you out. If you talk back, yeah, we already heard him tell her, shut up, shut the F up, shut up. Then when she shuts up and she doesn't respond to his disrespect, he wants to know why you're quiet, why you're not answering me, why you're not listening to me. So you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. That's a narcissist. This is the prime example of how a narcissist moves. He got something evil inside of him. He's trying to portray himself that he's a man of God, but he's full of shit. This is what you call a black Hebrew Israelite nigger at the fullest. Let it play.
consummated our marriage less than 36 hours before this. So emotionally, I was in a very vulnerable place. I believed I had just stepped into a deeper level of marriage, intimacy, and commitment. And then suddenly, within a day and a half, I was being degraded, humiliated, and spoken to like I was nothing. The next morning, he texted me saying he could have sworn he had told me to express myself.
Pause it. I could have sworn I told you to express yourself. It's been hours. You have had plenty of time to process. We can keep the same energy, though it's fine. I didn't know you meant to text you. I really don't understand why you deal with me so harshly. I'm reading these messages from last night. You should too. Even if I shouldn't have been harsh, maybe you could see why I felt away. It seems like you have a fighting mentality. I'm not an attacker or an aggressor. Let it play.
That it had been hours and that I had
I can
plenty of
only
time
understand to a certain extent why you feel like I want to fight you. I don't have the energy. What you are doing to me is not right. Let it play.
And again, instead of being
Pause
angry,
it. The energy in those texts seems light to me. There was a lot of LOL, and you are escalating to a different level again. I'm just going to apologize for offending you. That has never been my intention. I am understanding in the fact that you have your own
I tried to
thoughts
explain.
and point of
I
view.
told him I didn't
You have a right to your own feelings and the way you express yourself because of those feelings. There's definitely things I could have done differently.
understand why he dealt with me so harshly. I told him I wasn't attacking him. I told him the energy in the text seemed light to me. I apologized for offending him. I validated his feelings. I said maybe there were things I could have done differently. And that is one of the clearest parts of the relationship pattern. He went off on me, but I became the one doing the emotional repair. I became the one explaining, apologizing, softening, trying to understand his point of view, trying to calm everything down. At one point, he said that looking back at the text, he may have read them the wrong way or in the wrong tone. But then he said he needed to lower his standards, that perfection is unreal,
and that would help with his issues. That was confusing to me because even when he was kind of acknowledging he may have read things wrong, it still came back around to me being the standard that needed to be lower. And I remember telling him that I threw up after that phone call. I told him I felt disgusted. I told him I felt extremely unhappy and I felt heartbroken. I told him I didn't feel like a good enough woman and that I didn't even feel like he liked me. That is important because it shows where I was emotionally. I was not trying to win an argument. I was not trying to dominate him. I was not trying to disrespect him. I was trying to understand why the man I had just committed myself to could talk to me that way and then act like I was the problem. Later, he asked me what sisters.
Pause it. That's how narcissists are. They attack you. If you respond, you're the bad guy. If you don't respond, you're the bad guy. That's how narcissists are. Okay, then you could do that with women. You can't do that with men because men will punch you in your face. You could do that with a woman. You can't do that with a man. A man will punch you in your damn face. You get your teeth knocked out your mouth. So it's very easy to do that with women. That's why it tells you in the scriptures, in 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 7, reader.
The book of 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 7. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge.
The knowledge of God is how you deal with a woman. Read.
Giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel.
Because she's weaker than you. You can't do that to a man. A man can reciprocate that same energy and punch your face in. But you could do that to a woman because the Bible says she's the weaker vessel. So you can start an argument with her. Then when she tries to defend herself, you say, oh, you're being disrespectful. Then if she stays quiet, you tell her why you're not answering. You could do that with women. You can't do that with men. Men will knock your face in. That's how narcissists are. That's how black Hebrew Israelite niggas are. And that's why he was like, you could go for counsel. I'm not going to listen. And the niggas that you're bringing me to counsel with, they ain't going to do nothing. They ain't going to change me. Because they say they full of shit just like me. Let it play.
Since the issue happened. That also stood out to me. Because after something like that, the focus was not just on whether I was okay. It was also on who knew, who had I told, who had I talked to, and what had I said.
That's enough. Now he wants to know who you spoke to. Because he want to make sure nobody else knows. She don't go to nobody else to say that he's treating her like shit. But guess what? There's a God that sees. There's a God that you're going to have to answer to, my nigga. Eventually, there's going to be a God that you're going to have to answer to. Okay, that's all he wants to know is who you told, who you was telling how I am. The thought of him not doing it will not cut. That's his nature. He's not going to stop it, but he's going to try and control and contain the situation. Let it play.
What all he said the night before because he wanted to have records for preventative measures. I asked if he remembered what he said, and he said he remembered a lot, but not all. So I wrote out what I remembered. And I remembered a lot. I wrote out how the conversation started. I wrote out the names he called me. I wrote out how he said I wanted to go inside because it wasn't my day. I wrote out how he said the other wives didn't like me, how he said no one F's with me, how he made me answer him, how he insulted my intelligence, how his roommate was laughing, how I was crying, and how I froze. He asked if I recorded it. I didn't record it physically, but mentally, it stuck with me. It stuck with me because something broke in me that night. And when I say it broke something in me, I don't mean I stopped caring overnight. I didn't. The texts after that show I still cared. I still tried. I still wanted to believe things could be okay. But something in me had seen something I cannot unsee. And even after all of that, he said he took full accountability. He said he needed to work on his temper and self-control. But then he also asked me to work on doing things that might trigger him. And that's exactly why this pattern was so hard to break out of, because there would be just enough accountability to make me think maybe he understood, but then the responsibility would still be placed back onto me. I still had to manage his triggers. I still had to make sure I didn't say the wrong thing. I still had to learn how to respond correctly. I still had to become smaller, quieter, safer, and easier. And that was all within my first month of living there. 3 major incidents in 1 month. The first time I told myself maybe he drank too much. The second time I realized other wives already knew he acted like this. And the third time, I felt something in me break. And looking back now, I can see the patterns so clearly. The explosion, the fear, the crying, the apology, the love bombing, the sexual shift, the blame coming back on me, the concern about who I told, the expectation that I would absorb it, forgive it, and show up the same way the next day. At the time, I didn't have the language for it. I just knew it hurt. I knew I felt confused. I knew I was constantly trying to figure out how to not trigger him, how to be better, and how to be respectful enough, submissive enough, and understanding enough. But the problem was never that I didn't understand how to be a wife. The problem was that I was being conditioned to accept mistreatment as correction, intimidation as leadership, and emotional chaos as something I needed to endure. In the next episode, I'm going to talk about what life behind closed doors actually look like on a regular basis, the daily expectations, the roles, the wives, the children, the public image, and how different everything looked online compared to what was really happening privately.
Whew. Get me Matthew chapter 18, verse 10, because, like I said, these men that there's a God that they have to answer to.
The book of Matthew, chapter 18.
Because he said, I don't care who you go to counsel with, I'm not changing. And that's how a lot of men are. It is what it is.
Matthew, chapter 18 and verse 10. Take heed that ye despise not one of these little ones.
Because you will be with somebody that despise you. And you're trying to reason with them, and you're trying to figure out why they hate you. You didn't do nothing to them, but they just display hatred to you. So it says what?
Take heed that ye despise not one of these little ones. For I say unto you, that in heaven their angels do always behold the face of my Father, which is in heaven.
All of us have an angel that's watching over us. And there's being a report carried to the Most High. And then when judgment comes for that ass, all of a sudden you want to talk to God while you was mistreating people. Now you want to act like you don't know why you did it or why you was doing what you was doing. Okay? Understand that there is an angel watching over everybody. Okay? So that's why I watch how I deal with people. And I make sure that even if I have the power over someone, I don't abuse it. Because I'm sure if the other women speak, they got more to say than her. And I'm sure in these camps, almost all the women are going through the same thing. All the women are going through the same thing in these camps. But you see how exhausting it was. And you got to record the conversation. You got to play it back because none of those niggas around them don't care. There's no discipline. There's no repercussions. He knows it. He controls the dynamic. He controls the situation. Okay? So it's either eat my shit or leave. So I don't want to make this video too long. I'm going to end it here because I wanted her to be heard. We'll revisit this next week. And then we'll get into the rest of it. But I want to make this video too long. I'm going to end it here because I wanted her to be heard. We'll revisit this next week. And then we'll get into the rest of it. But I want to make this video too long. I'm going to end it here because I wanted her to be heard. We'll revisit this next week. I just wanted her to be heard because this is the stuff we've been, everything she said, we warned y'all about. We warned y'all about it, and y'all don't listen to us and try to paint us like we. The bishop brought all this stuff out. Where he tell you women, make sure you have your own money. Make sure you got education. Make sure you got money saved in case this nigga don't know how to behave. The bishop been telling y'all that for years. He was the only man in leadership in Israel that been saying that. These other niggas, these wicked niggas, they stay quiet. Okay, don't ever try to compare us to them. Don't mention our name in the same sentence. I guarantee you all these other camps, there's women going through the same shit that she going through. She just had the courage to document it and present it to everybody else because she got fed up. Sister, I know you fed up, but keep your head up. That nigga's a demon, and he's not going to change. Okay, people like that, they don't change at that age. He's not going to stop unless the Most High step in and bring judgment to him. He ain't changing. Thank you, Deacon, for not cussing her out like some of these other bozos in the comments. Listen, I'm glad that she put what she did. She made mistakes. It is what it is. She already got enough stuff to deal with for me to go and cuss her out. She already got too much on her plate for her to bring this out, and then I start attacking her. I'll be just like that wicked nigga she's with. And I don't want this to make a focus of, yeah, you see, I'm right. No, I want you to see that what we were saying is true. I don't need to prove myself right. I always knew I was right. I always knew it. Sounds like an alcoholic to me. No, it's not alcohol. This is the way he is with the alcohol only intensifies it. This is his nature. It's just, he has no heart. You saw how he was with his children. You saw how he talked to them. You heard it out of his own mouth. I'll kill you and your family. He's buying expensive things for his own self, telling her she can't take care of herself. How could he be so confident that she would not expose him? Because there's a lot of these women are more loyal than some of these niggas. They're trying to reconcile in their head, why are you doing this to me? And trying to think, well, maybe it's me. Maybe I need to be a better this. Maybe no. It's manipulation. That's right, Z Israel. He's just going to get a new victim because these women don't listen. These women don't listen. He's just going to do it to somebody else. We don't let that happen to our sisters here. And we try as much as we can to sit down and give them right counsel and hold the men accountable. If it's happening, we don't know about it. I'm not saying it can't happen. Okay, but that shit right there, she already said, I went to multiple people outside of the camp. And these niggas try to play like, boy, did anybody lie to you before in the world? Like, it's normal. Just eat it. Nigga hate his own kid. And he said it in the video. If I don't like the woman, the kid suffers. You a wicked nigga. You can't take that back, Jack. You never believe. He don't believe in this Bible. He don't believe in this truth, and she gave proof. You notice none of his correction came with scriptures. No, he'll only make up scriptures to try and attack us. Okay, and I'm rubbing my hands together. You niggas come come. When you're ready, come. You know where to find us. Okay? You know where to come. When y'all ready to come for the back and forth, oh, well, let's make it happen. And that stuff there about her telling him my father's black. Okay? She said my father's black. I don't know if he said his grandfather's white or whatever. He act like an Edomite. And don't think that little nigga that's with him, what's his name? Hassad? He's no different from him. He's a piece of shit just like him. She said his father was white. I don't know if she said his father's father or his father. I don't know. Look, I'm going to let y'all go, man. That was exhausting. I hate that we even have to talk about something like this. But we've been warning you, sisters, man. At this point, it is what it is. Y'all going to still go and y'all still going to be with these people. There's nothing we could do. This ain't no CIA. This is just a wicked nigga. That's what they are. Don't blame the government. These are just some wicked. This is what Christ had to deal with. This is what Moses had to deal with when it said, Moses, for the hardness of your heart. That's what you saw, how his heart is. He got a hard, evil heart. Don't blame the government. Don't blame the hood. This guy is just no good. Moses had to deal with this. Christ said, for the hardness of your heart, he allowed you to divorce. And that's what you see it. This is the niggas that Moses had to deal with. He has not posted since last week. Look, he's going to do just what all of them do. Wait a while, because he's making too much money off you suckers. Then come back, and his supporters are going to come. He's going to be able to start up again. Just give it some time. Just give it some time. Look, I'll come back fresh next week. I just wanted y'all to watch this. We'll come back next week. We'll pick up with here, and I got a lot more scripture. I just don't want this to be too long. Y'all watch this video, like it, and share it. Most High in Christ bless to you all, and shalom.